So, for a free banked upgrade, would anybody like to, in character, tell what happened last time?
Oh, are we doing that now?
I mean, it works well in Chris's campaign. Why not?
I'll do it.
All right, Kane, take it away.
Really curious to see the spin on this one.
Just the last session or the last episode?
You can say the last session. Well,
Okay.
Yeah, say the last session.
All right. So, Red Lightning, or the crew formerly known as last session, decided to go with Raven's mom's plan to go free Katra, because apparently we can't defeat Mandalore Somnus without her. And so we went to a prison on Dantooine to do that. And lo and behold, she wasn't there. Because as it turns out, Mandalore Somnus, spoilers, was Katra, which we figured out when we got to the Jedi Temple. And Shijay Vizsla was defeated by Somnus, then killed herself. And then Raven decided, oh, I'll just duel you myself. Basically one-shot her. And instead of killing her in the last second, realized, oh, that's my wife. And became Mandalore Somnus. Or Mandalore Vizsla. Also, Anaris found a Kyber crystal, which gets pretty cool. G2C2 committed genocide, which is not so cool.
That's an understatement.
And yeah, so the Jedis are basically gone. The Senate's gone. The Republic, I would assume, is in tatters now. And the Sith fleet is here. So everything sucks. Pretty bad.
So everything's bad.
Everything's pretty bad. You know?
Yeah, life sucks. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Kane,
Quick question.
Yep.
Well, first I will take my upgrade.
Take your upgrade. Yep.
But my other question is, how much weight did Ellie lose over the 2 months when Stompy was not there to feed her?
So for the first month, Stampaka was there, and not a lot of progress was made. Over the final month, when Stampaka left, all of a sudden, I don't know why, but Ellie's weight loss really seemed to kick into overdrive. Like, Ellie suddenly was losing weight left, right, and center. Ellie is right now a still overweight, but not obese 18 pounds.
Cool.
She's now a chunky Gizka.
She's a chonker.
Like, you would no longer go, what have you done to this poor animal? You would just go, oh, look at the chonker.
That's a big old Gizka.
Oh, she doing a big old chonk. Oh, I love her.
Words.
All right, cool.
All right. And with that, thank you very much for the recap. Let us dive in to episode 2. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Star Wars Conflict Within, Episode 2, Shadows of the Past, Session 5. The Republic has fallen. Rising from the ashes of the once great Jedi Temple on Coruscant, the sinister Sith Empire has emerged and begun to spread its reach throughout the galactic core. With the Jedi all but extinct and the Senate obliterated, Darth Revan has laid claim to the seat of power on Coruscant. With the might of an entire Sith armada at his back, he has dispatched his apprentice, Darth Toxus, to bring the inner and core worlds under control. Darth Toxus has shown little restraint in her merciless and ruthless occupation of former Republic worlds, and one by one they have surrendered and joined the Sith Empire. With contact to the core and inner worlds cut off, the last bastion holding back a full-scale Sith takeover has been the Mandalorian fleet at Taris. While they valiantly guard the entrance to the Outer Rim, our heroes have spent the last 2 months on Dantooine, frantically rallying allies and any who would oppose tyranny to their cause. Now, a lot, for those of you who are viewing and for those of you who are playing, a lot has happened in the downtime. It's been 2 months since the end of Episode 2, and you all have not been in a room together since, or the ending of Episode 1, I should say. This is a quick recap of some of the things that happened in the downtime. I am going to give you the bullet points, and you can all explore in roleplay maybe some of the finer details. But for those wondering, these are some of the things that everyone did. There are a couple I will explain in greater detail because something would have happened to make sure everybody knows about it. We'll start with Raven, who I think had probably the busiest 2 months of anybody. As one would expect of when you become a leader of a people, there's a lot to do. So Raven has assumed the mantle of Mandalore, with her first order of business being to welcome back all who were exiled, including foundlings and Grey Wolf. One of her very first things she did was put out a galaxy-wide message, or at least as far as it could go. She could only get it as far as the Outer Rim. She had, like all things, communications into the inner worlds and core worlds has been cut off. But as far as the Outer Rim, she welcomed back all foundlings, Grey Wolf, and anyone else who was exiled during the tenure of Mandalore Somnus. Katra has voluntarily, and I say voluntarily using the biggest air quotes I can muster, surrendered her name and rank. She has had her tattoos stricken from her body, and she has been conscripted onto Raven's ship to serve, but no longer as Katra Vizsla. She no longer carries her last name or any rank. They are also no longer considered married. They are... Raven is not a fan of that concept, but they are not technically considered married anymore because she is no longer a Mandalorian. Effectively, Katra is not. You all are aware of that because Katra made that announcement on a broadcast that went throughout the Outer Rim, so you were able to see that. Yeah, it was rough. It was a very brutal day for Katra Vizsla, or Katra Vizsla no longer. Raven managed to make peace with Kane. She secured the fealty of Raj Rook and Clan Rook by agreeing to reinstate Song Vizsla, and she has also agreed to train and eventually marry off his daughter, Sifu Rook, who we will meet today. And lastly, she sent Stampaka to Tatooine to meet with Suna the Hutt and the Kathhounds and find out what their terms for entering the war on the side of the Mandalorians would look like. And that is where Stampaka has been for the last month. Galvin has secured a workshop on the surface of Dantooine and has spent a great deal of the 2 months locked away in that workshop, working away at trying to do numerous things, including beginning the process of rebuilding and recreating HK-47/G2C2 for a new purpose. He has now been renamed M3T4, and you will all get to meet M3T4 in his new form later today. In addition, Galvin also took some time to upgrade Raven's blaster rifle, which now is a much lighter weapon to hold, so that is good. Kane managed to make peace with Ozzy after taking her back to his family home. She performed a proper burial rite for his family. He managed to make peace with Raven and vouched for her to Raj Rook. And he also encountered his wife once more, now on the surface of Dantooine.
Still got no answers.
You did not get a lot of answers, although she did tell you some things if you listened. So, Anaris tried to commune further with Rhea Jax, but was actually unable to find them. Anaris has spent a great deal of time in the Jedi Temple trying to restore bits and pieces of it and understand more about what is going on there and maybe what life was like in that Jedi Temple, although really there was people living there not all that long ago, to be fair, only within the last 10 years. He also agreed to help train Raven in the use of the Darksaber. Doing so, he discovered that she was Force sensitive and has now been able to piece together that the entire party probably has become Force sensitive. If there was an awakening in her, it's likely that you all felt that awakening at the same time, as you were all close
to me
by.
like the Force is contagious.
I mean, in this case, it kind of is. Stampaka stayed with Kane for about a month, and Ellie didn't lose any weight during that month. He stayed for a while working with his holocron and honing his new Juyo abilities with Sela. After that, he went to offer his services to Raven, who graciously accepted them, and then went to Tatooine to meet with the Kathhounds leader, Suna the Hutt, finding out their terms for entering the war. And so that's where we're going to pick up today. We are on Dantooine, and a call has been put out to all of you to gather together in the Jedi Temple, ironically not far from where you all parted ways about 2 months ago. This will be the first time you all see each other again. And Raven has sent for all of you after letting you know that Raj Rook is scheduled to arrive very shortly. It's not necessary that you all be there if you don't want to be. However, I figured that Kane would want to be there to see his friend, and that's Anaris would want to meet Sifu. So if you all wish to be there, you may, but you do not have to be. So is anyone not going to be there? Stampaka, you are also returning to Dantooine at around this same time.
Okay.
Oh.
So does anyone not want to attend this meeting? Great. Perfect. No, that's fine. That's fine. I just want to know so I don't give you guys a scene that you shouldn't be a part of. All right. Raven, you are currently in the main hall of the Jedi Temple. You haven't spent a whole lot of time in this place because this place doesn't exactly bring back the best memories for you. You are probably not a stone's throw right now from where Shijie Vizsla took her life. That said, this is the main entry point from the landing pads on top of the temple, so this is where people are going to come in as they enter the temple. You are there. Katra is not with you at the moment. She said she had something to attend to. However, you do see one Galvin Sidris enter the room carrying your rifle.
All right, it was got this worked up for you. It's nice and light. It was definitely a lot harder to carry back to my workshop when you brought it to me, but should do just the trick.
All right, thanks. And then she's gonna pick it up, do like a quick basic aim drill, make sure yeah, this still works kind of thing.
It feels different, for sure. It is much lighter than the last time you picked it up. Galvin has not only been able to attach the new framework to it properly, stripping off the old outer shells and replacing it with a new duraluminum steel. Ugh. But you, in addition, he has also been able to make some special modifications to it to lighten it even further. So, yeah, it is a very light version of your blaster rifle, but should still be just as strong.
She'll sling it around her back. Well done.
Well, wasn't just me. I did have the help of my new droid. He's different.
From behind Galvin, you hear, "Master, are you sure this is a good idea?"
I mean, it's gonna have to come out sooner or later, M3.
Statement. There is a 99% probability I do not walk out of here in one piece.
Back droid Galvin.
Is everybody else already here, or?
No, it's just you two right now, although M3T4 has now entered the room as well. Raven, you see M3T4 in a somewhat rebuilt state, still using some of the body design from before, mostly just repaired. It doesn't look like Galvin has been able to do a whole lot of new tech on him, although you did notice that Galvin put in a requisition for some of the scrap around here to see if he could use a droid body to possibly upgrade M3T4. M3T4 looks at you, Raven. Greetings. It is good to see you again, Raven Vizsla.
See you as long as you don't go blowing up any more temples. Look back to Galvin. You didn't even think to change his voice?
I didn't really think that far. I was more concerned with making sure that he had no more surprises and that he was completely on our side.
Statement.
And
My new primary objective is to assist you in your war against the Sith. I will endeavor to assist you in any way I can.
Just gonna nod to M3. Might want to lead with that when you see Song and Stompy.
Yeah, I think we'll wait to introduce him back to them. But like I said, he did help with your rifle, so he still has his uses. And while I was looking for some extra surprises, I did garner that he may have information that may be of value to us in the future.
Oh,
M3 is going to look at you, Galvin. May I, Master?
Yes, go ahead.
Statement. Master Sidrus believes that it is valuable information that I was built by Darth Revan.
what the fuck? Look.
He just looks at you.
Galvin, you want to explain that one?
Well, I mean, considering we found the core in a Sith temple, I don't think it's that far from reason that could be a possibility. But not only that, because of this, because he was created by Darth Revan, while a lot of his data has been corrupted over time, he still may hold some information regarding the looming threat that has been growing stronger by the day.
At that, Galvin, he glances over and nods. Statement. Master Sidrus refers to the 12,416 ships that comprise the Sith fleet.
A little bit pale, because like she knew there was a lot of them, but hearing that number.
Raven, you would know right now you have about 2,000 ships strong in the Mandalorian Armada.
Didn't even think it was that high.
The Mandalorians are warlike people. They do have a lot of ships. They just don't have 12,000.
Cool.
While that's going on, Anaris, you've also gotten the summons from Raven. You were down in the dojo where you have been working, trying to keep up with your training and trying to commune with other Jedi that might be out there somewhere in the Force. It has been quiet. The most quiet you can ever remember being as a Jedi. You do not sense others in the Force like you used to. You do sense a Jedi Ranger every now and then, it maybe in the area or maybe in this system somewhere. But they feel a little bit different than you're used to. It's not quite like when you sense a Jedi nearby. But you do sense people strong in the Force nearby.
Well, I'm just walking in the room right now.
Yep, you're just entering as well.
Raven, Galvin, and why is that thing still alive?
Well,
M3 looks over. Technically, I am neither living nor dead. I am a droid.
Yeah, it was a figure of speech.
I need to create a command to just have you explain everything as people ask.
Statement. Understood, Master. And he'll look to Anaris. I have been reprogrammed and redesignated as M3T4. My primary objective is to assist you in your war against the Sith. I look forward to slaying many Sith meatbags with you.
Talk about a personality change. Okay.
To be clear,
Well-
it's really not. Just the target has changed.
Right. Okay. Galvin?
Master Sidrus has repurposed me as a medical droid. I know all of the valuable anatomy points on the body. I will be able to help you.
Galvin, this thing is scary.
He is that.
Yes, but now it is truly our ally. As before, in my hubris, he just kind of chuckles. And I thought that he was mine and didn't really think to look too deeply into it. I was just so intrigued by the ancient technology. And turns out that he was created by Darth Revan.
Oh, this just gets more complicated and complicated by the day.
Yeah, it looks like she's still processing how this thing we found in an ancient Sith tomb is made by the guy currently trying to take over the galaxy.
Well, if it has information, I mean, I can't argue with that, but the second it looks at me wrong, I'm going to have some words with you. That's all I can say.
Query,
Well, as long-
Master. Query, Master Anaris, how would you like me to look at you?
Just try not to kill me.
Statement. I will endeavor to not kill you.
Fair enough.
Query, Mandalore Visla, would you like me to endeavor not to kill you?
That would be preferred.
Statement. I will endeavor not to kill you, Mandalore Visla. While this is happening, Kane, you are currently on board the Razorback. You have been flying for a little while. It doesn't take too long to go across the planet, but because you're flying planetary, you can't go as fast as normal, so it does take some time to get to the Jedi Temple. Ozzy Visla glances up from her workstation as she hears the alert go off that you are approaching the Jedi Temple, and she slams a button and calls down, Kane, we're almost there.
I'm aware that we're almost there. I'm flying the ship.
All right, I just wanted to make sure you know. I don't want to have a repeat of last time.
There will be no repeat of last time. Last time didn't happen.
You say so. Hey, you're going to see Raven, right?
Mandalore Visla? Yes.
Oh, right. Sure, whatever. Yeah. I need you to get something for me. I'm almost done with your armor, but I need... Oh... I need a frame of transparent steel to finish it.
All right. I'm sure she'll have no problem getting that for us.
I would hope so. Yeah. I think from there I should be able to finish getting you into this armor. Oh, I did have a question for you. Do you want me to make it lighter?
If you can do that and it won't sacrifice any of the defensive capabilities, then yes.
Well, no, it will. I can make it lighter, but you'll be a little less protected.
Okay. So,
All right, I'll tell you the mechanics of what that means.
let's say that we were playing a game and you had to break down the attributes for it. What's the difference looking like?
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 6, how much weight are we talking about taking off? What this would do, she would make your armor lighter. It would take off one of the soak that it provides. If I recall, Mandalorian armor gives a defense for both melee and ranged and 2 soak. It will take one of those soak off, but you will take 2 encumbrance off, 1 encumbrance while equipped, because armor is only half encumbrance while equipped.
Right. What does encumbrance mean?
When
What does that mean for me?
you can only equip up to your encumbrance, you can't go over. So
Okay, so my encumbrance is
5 plus your
8.
brawn. Yep.
So Mandalorian armor is
6 encumbrance, normally 3 while equipped.
okay. So if it's 3 well equipped, that means I have 5 more encumbrance that I have to worry about.
Yep.
Which I have 4 on my. Well, when I get my 2 things. So you said the encumbrance would be what if I go down 1?
It'll take 2 off while you're carrying the armor, 1 off while you're equipping the armor, because armor is always only half when you equip it.
So while equipped, it would be 2.
Yep, down from 3.
No, I think I'll keep the defensive capabilities.
All right, well, just let me know. I can usually make the switch. There might be some modifications I make later where I won't be able to, but for right now, it's fine if you want to change it.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Well, just let me know if you can get that stuff, and I'll finish it up for you. I just got to finish the helmet.
All right, well, we're going in now.
So as you land, you're able to land very close to the temple, which is nice. It's not super crowded today. You step down off the gangway and start to approach. To the right of the temple entrance, you see a large black stone made of marble that was not there last time you were here. It has hundreds of names carved into it. And you recognize this to be a not a mass grave, but this is a Mandalorian memorial site that has been created in recognition of people who perished in a war. And you do see Katra currently standing in front of the stone, looking up at the names.
Walk past her.
Fine. So you can just go past her into the temple. And inside the temple, you're able to make your way up to the room, and you enter. You already see Galvin, M3T4, Anaris, and Raven in there.
I'm gonna go up to Galvin, be like, "It's good to see you, kid," and I'm gonna give him a hug. Be like, you should probably stop by your workshop though before you head out anywhere.
Why is that?
And I'm going to blast his droid's head off. I'm aiming for the neck so it doesn't do any actual permanent damage to it. It'll just have to be reattached.
Gotcha. A episode 1 droid explosion. Got it.
Yep.
So indeed, M3T4 right now is not even combat capable. So yeah, the head detaches and looks up at you from the ground. Statement. I suppose I deserved that.
Yeah, you kind of did. You're probably gonna get that a lot today.
Statement. Next time I will ignore my programming.
A little late for that.
Whoa now.
Yeah. Yep.
Mandalore. Ozzy has told me that to see if I can requisition a. Fuck, what was it?
It's a small sheet of transparasteel.
A sheet of transparasteel.
Is that a thing I would have any trouble getting him?
No, probably not. I think
you did this.
I know. I don't think so. No, I think you could probably. It would be a salvage piece. Like you wouldn't be able to have one made here on Dantooine, but you could probably salvage one out of like one of the destroyed rooms in the Jedi Temple. There's a lot of them that have transparasteel in them.
Raven will pull out a holopad, tap on it a few times. All right, someone will take it up to Ozzy.
Okay.
Alright,
And you
Kane
get
just looks at Anaris. Oh. What's up, Anaris?
Anaris?
Anaris muted or just ignoring Kane?
I don't know. Could be either. I'm gonna guess they had AFK. All
okay,
right.
fair enough.
So as you're all standing there, you hear a ship dock above you. And a moment later, a long moment later, you hear a Wookiee cry. And Stumpaka comes walking down the gangway. We just lost all our cameras. I'm guessing maybe Anaris disconnected is what actually happened.
Yep, I think so.
Yep. All right, so cameras will get fixed in a moment. Stumpaka comes walking down the gangway. Stumpaka looks like he's been in a fight, or probably 6. Like, there's a lot of singe marks on his fur. There is... he looks roughed up as he comes down.
Mandalore?
Umpy? Didn't expect them to give you that hard of a fight just for terms.
Sometimes you gotta bust some heads to talk.
No,
No, and Stompy, even if they didn't give him a fight, he probably still would have asked for one.
Raven's gonna nod.
Not-
Like, yeah, that's fair.
Not inaccurate. Did I relay the terms yet or not yet?
No, so now it would be your time. You can relay the terms to Raven.
So they'll help, but when it's over, they want Hut Space to operate independently of anything else.
What's that noise?
It's their
Hey,
they want their
Daddy.
own laws and creeds,
Yeah, they're
and
basically...
anything else.
Daddy. What's that noise?
It's nothing, honey. And also
Hey, Daddy,
any other
do
new
it.
HISS systems would be part of the Hut cartel. They want to be a political entity.
Yeah, they're basically demanding rather that they are recognized as their own political space and all their prior offenses are expunged. That is Suna the Hutt's request for joining. That will get you the Cath Hounds. Now, so you can make an educated decision on this, Raven, I will tell you that the Cath Hounds bring with them 1,500 ships. What was that?
I have 2,000, right?
You currently have 2,000 ships. Yep.
Okay, and how different is that to how things were before, the whole Somnus bit?
Are you asking versus what the Mandalorian fleet looked like at the beginning of these wars?
I mean, as far as the Hutts being their own thing.
Oh, well, so right now the Hutts are. Now Hutta is technically part of the Republic, or it was when the Republic existed. It was in name only, in that no one would ever listen to a Republic official on Nal Hutta, but they did still have to operate within the laws of the Republic. That, like, slavery had to be done under the books. Red sand had to be sold under the books, off the books. They are asking basically for their planet spaces to be made their own nations, their own separate political entities that they can decide the rules of.
Do I have to give an answer now?
Right now? No, you just have to contact Suna the Hutt with your response.
Okay. Because I'm not sure what to have Raven do with that, so I'll think on that for a bit.
All right. As you're talking with Stumpaka and getting caught up, Katra does enter the room and walks over to join you, Raven. And it is about 20 minutes after that, giving you all a little bit of time to chat and talk if you'd like to. I'll let you. But you have about 20 minutes before something is going to happen.
I just need to make sure my microphone's working.
It is.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay, well, I will take that as a no.
Sorry. I was writing.
Oh, no worries.
I mean, I don't know if Raven's basically talked to everybody during the downtime. So other than like affectionately greeting Katra,
Hmm.
Yeah, that's not gonna get confusing. That's pretty much all she's got.
Anyone else? You got anything?
No, I'll probably exchange pleasantries with Aneris and Stompy, but
Sure.
that's
Just make small talk. Got it.
Yep.
All right. So, about 20 minutes pass, and you hear another ship dock above you. It is a few moments after that you see two people coming down the entranceway into the temple. Kane, you immediately recognize the first one. Raj Rook descends the gangway down into the temple. You see a man with salt and pepper hair and an olive-skinned complexion. He wears his Mandalorian armor, but no helmet, and has a red cape that runs down his back, which you know to be customary of the leader of Clan Rook. Behind him is a young girl in training gear. She looks to be in her early teens and has long black hair down to her lower back. She has dark brown eyes, and on her hip sits a lightsaber. And she looks like this. So if you want to look in the chat or in the stream, you can see this. This is who has just descended behind Raj Rook. Yeah, she does not have her lightsaber drawn. It is currently on her hip.
I'm going to approach first, and as I approach him, do the whole grasping hands things, then pull him into a hug type deal to greet him, and say, "Damn, you got old."
He gives you a look and says, "Look who's talking."
No, there's not many mirrors on my ship.
Well, that's for the best. It's always been for the best. He smiles though. He genuinely looks happy to see you. We'll have to catch up shortly here, old friend.
Name the time and place. I don't have much else to do besides fighting a totally avoidable war, apparently.
Well, I totally avoid. I don't know if it's totally avoidable. There's a huge Sith fleet coming, and that's not the point. He glances at you. Yes, my men remain at Terrace right now, prepared to hold the line should the Sith encroach upon the outer rim. The girl, he turns actually and says, "Of course, let me introduce you. This is Sifu Rook. This is my daughter. Sifu, this is my good friend." And he kind of gives you a wry smile. Kane? Song?
I've been reinstated.
Yeah. That's fair enough then. This is my good friend Song, and Sifu gives a look and says, "Ah, the one you always talk about." And he looks a little embarrassed at that, like, yes, Sifu. Anyway, Mandalore Visla, good to see you, my friend. I understand that you've had quite a bit to get done over the last couple months.
For what it's worth, since Raven actually has changed a bit in 2 months, probably should describe that at some point. So instead of the undercut she previously had, Raven has actually grown out her hair. Anyone that saw Katra before she cut her hair would know that she's wearing it in the exact same style. And Raven just looks exhausted.
Raj nods and says, and I thought running one clan was difficult. You look terrible. Anyway, he looks over at Stumpaka and goes, and you, my friend, it's, the name's coming to me. I got this. It is, Lobaka.
That works.
All right, I got it.
Wait, hold on. You know Stompy?
I assumed I knew all of you. You remember him as being notorious for not being good at remembering people, but always wanting to be good at remembering people.
No, yep, that's right. Lopaka.
And he walks over to the headless droid that is still just standing next to Galvin and goes, and of course, couldn't have a group here without M3T4. Why not? Sure. And then he looks to Inaris and sees the Jedi and is like, so sorry for what happened to your people?
And Neris just kind of looks down and just is like, thanks for reminding me.
He looks very awkward. Ooh. Well, yeah. Yeah, well, that does happen sometimes. I mean, not that I can ever remember. Anyway, not important. Listen, Raven, I wanted to bring my daughter. I promised that she would serve faithfully on your ship. And, yeah.
I lean over to Sifu. You get your manners from your mom, right?
She glances over and nods. I get much more from my mom than him.
Can take you much further.
She glances at you, Kane, and for a moment you can sense the Force in her strongly. She has a
lightsaber, so I think I assume.
Yeah, I mean, but like, she's strong in the Force, like surprisingly so. So yeah, after a moment of greeting Raj officially, as more of his people come down, you see some other high-ranking members of Clan Rook who are accompanying him, including a couple of guards who were with him. Interestingly, they did not come down right as the ship landed. He felt comfortable enough to walk down with his daughter unguarded, but he came down. And with now people in the to take in the sight of this, he makes something of a show of flipping his cape back and then taking a knee in front of you and bowing his head in front of you. It says, Mandalore Visla, Clan Rook fights for you.
Your help is very appreciated.
And then he glances up and looks over at Katra. And you're not sure what to make of the look on his face as he sees this girl who is now quite scarred from where the tattoos were removed across her body. He just nods. I am sorry that you had to give up so much that this might happen. And Katra kind of gives him a look before nodding and just doesn't say anything. Meanwhile, I got Sarah in the chat talking about all my secrets. Yeah, it's fair. I do always have a character like this in every campaign. So after that, you all go and you actually have a meal. Raven, you've had some food prepared to welcome your guests in, and there is a small, you don't want to call it a banquet, it's nothing like that, but it's just some drinks, some food, and some talk of, hey, so there's a huge Sith fleet, how are we going to deal with that? during which Raj tells you that he is currently holding the line at Terrace. They've actually not been probed by the Sith Armada. He's not seen hide nor hair of them in the last 2 months. Something has been keeping them busy elsewhere, apparently.
Don't know whether to be concerned or relieved.
It is.
Concerned. They'll find their way here eventually.
It is puzzling. We had thought that they would be on us quickly after the fall of Coruscant, but no, we've not so much as a hailing in our time there. I was confident enough to chance coming here for a little bit at least, but
They're new into this theater of war, and their primary target was taken down preemptively for them. And their secondary target, which would have been us, has been waging a 10-year war already. They can take their time.
Well, it definitely is a break for us. While I understand your opinion on that, Kane, I would say we are more prepared than we would have been otherwise. And he kind of gives a knowing look to Katra, who actually looks a little sheepish before she speaks up. Yes, perhaps I should have told you, Raven. You actually have more ships than you realize.
Raven's just gonna give her. Wait, what?
Yes. Mandalore Somnus informed me that after the fall of Dantooine, their first targets were to take down Celeste and Dak, the two largest shipyards in the Outer Rim. After that, they were put full-time on making ships, and they have been making them ceaselessly for 10 years.
Raven just looks completely floored. Like, how did this information not get to my desk at some point?
Because the DM forgot to mention it in the downtime. But she nods. You have, by now, they said they could make ships at the rate of 75 per year, so that would be about 1,500 more ships.
That's useful, to say the least.
And Raj nods. Yes. As you're talking, he gets a communication come through on his what's the term? His communicator, is that what they call them? That's
Comlink?
Star Trek. His comlink.
Comlink.
Thank you. Comlink. That's it. Thank you. His deep space comlink. He is someone comes in and says, Commander, we have word coming from Terrace. They've been hailed. And he kind of raises an eyebrow at that. By the Sith? No, sir. The Vanguard. He nods at that and looks. Patch them through here, I presume? He's looking at you, Raven, for confirmation that that's okay.
Everyone's
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at Raven.
Raven will just nod, a little bit confused, like, I thought the Vanguard was gone, but okay.
It takes a moment, but they are able to patch through the communication coming from Terrace. And what comes through is...
By the way, someone in the chat asking 75 ships per year for a decade. Isn't that 750?
It is 750. 2 planets doing it, though.
Ah, there you go.
So,
Okay, cool.
1,500. Yeah, both Dak and Celeste, the shipyards on both planets. The voice that comes through the communications, it's very garbly and kind of, you can kind of hear like maybe explosions in the background or maybe a fire of some kind. It sounds like this ship is pretty damaged or whatever it is. But you do recognize the voice that comes through. And it's kind of breaking up, but you hear this Glora Jost of the Vanguard of the Republic.
Grandmaster?
The voice, it is Glora Jost, your commanding officer in the Vanguard.
Well, that's awkward.
Yeah,
That's super awkward.
maybe not your commanding officer anymore. Is anyone there? Please respond.
So this is like talking directly to us, not talking to someone and being patched through.
Nope, you can talk to them.
I don't know what to say.
Kane stands up. Glora Joss, this is Song Visla of the Mandalorians. We hear you.
Excellent. We're seeking passage through Terrace into the Outer Rim. We've been attacked by the Sith Empire. We are currently fleeing.
Look
Give them
to
passage
Raven.
to everyone we can get.
Passage is granted.
Thank you.
Is Dantooine on the Outer Rim?
Dantooine is on the Outer Rim, yes.
Okay. I also suggest if you're looking for safe harbor, head to Dantooine.
I will make for Dantooine immediately. Can I send my ships to a shipyard? They need repairs.
Mandalore.
I didn't write down the name of that planet to tell them where to go.
Either Celeste or Dak would be fine.
I'll list off whatever one they end up being closer to.
Mm-hmm.
They would be closer to Dak, so that's where they would go.
All right, I'll send them there then.
When he hears your voice, he goes, Lieutenant Lyra?
Mandalore Vizsla. Now. You have a lot to be caught up on.
Yes, I would say so. I will make for Dantooine immediately. Operation Red Lightning?
We'll talk soon.
Oh.
Song
Okay.
sits back down.
Yeah, sure. And he's you can tell he's quite bewildered as he breaks communications, but is quite relieved to be able to pass through the armada at Terrace.
I'm just gonna kind of stand in the
and-
corner and chuckle and say that's gonna be an interesting thing to explain.
As Song sits back down, he does give you, Raven, a bit of a disappointed fatherly look. Sorry, where were we?
I will
Roger-
say that pause was all me, not Raven. I was legitimately trying to figure out what to have Raven say.
Yeah, Raven, don't be afraid, or Autumn, don't be afraid to just say, like, hey, I need a minute to think of what I want to respond as. Yeah, that's totally fine. Okay. So Raj sits there for a moment like, the Vanguard of the Republic is still around?
At least a few of them.
That might explain why the Sith Empire hadn't attacked. Maybe they were trying to
They're
mop them
hunting
up.
instead.
It will be a number
Well,
of
that's-
hours.
That's true, then their problem's now heading our way. Now they have twice the reason to turn their attention in our direction.
They do, although we may have more ships now at least. I think I should return to Terrace. I sense our time of peace is not going to last a whole lot longer. I will leave in the morning. Kane. Song, I should say. I'll get your name eventually. Song. Maybe we should catch up tonight.
I'd like that.
I'll meet you at your ship. And
That's the Razorback.
he gives you a knowing look. Yes, I understand that you have been looking to change your name for some time.
A lot pricier than you'd think it would be.
Well, I'm sure
Before
your new Mandalore friend could help you.
Maybe.
Before he leaves, Raven's just gonna look to him. I'm already trying to send you everything I can, but if there's anything specific you need, let me know.
He nods. I'll tell you what I need. I need permission to be able to withdraw if I need to. I don't intend to lose every man at Terrace when there's a bigger war to be fought later.
Raven will consider for a moment and then just gravely nod, knowing, like, we need the people more than we need Terrace, even if that means we lose the bottleneck.
It's exactly what Raj is saying to you. Like, there's a battle that's going to have to be fought when we're at full strength, and it's not now. And we can't afford to lose 2,000 ships.
Yep.
So he nods. You should set a plan. When they come, they will come in force, and we're going to need to be able to be on the move. And with that, he's like, I'm going to go rest on my ship for a little bit, Kane. I will see you later. Sifu, you wished to explore the temple, am I correct? She looks up and nods. Yes, Father, if I may. He nods, as long as Mandalore Vizsla is okay with that.
Raven will just nod.
She is going to rather excitedly get up from the table that she looked incredibly bored at and go instead to go explore the temple.
Check under the floorboards. Sometimes there's kyber crystals.
She looks up like, what?
Ask
Kane,
him.
you told me you didn't remember.
Sorry, what was that, Inaris?
I said, and Kane didn't remember anything.
You wouldn't have told us at one point, hey, cool, look, I got a new kyber crystal under the floor?
Well, you also found a massive kyber crystal under the floor, too.
Yeah, that's fair. Don't let meta blow this one up.
All right, so you are all dismissed for the moment. You are waiting for Glora Jost to arrive on Dantooine.
I'm gonna grab Galvin. I don't know if this is something. I know I mentioned it to you. I'm not sure if you had mentioned it to him over the break or not. About seeing if he can't. If I have to buy the materials, that's fine. Getting Ozzy some more, hardy or if necessary combat grade prosthetics.
Sure. So Galvin, as Kane asks you about this, you remember you've met Ozzy once, briefly. You would have to get a better look at what she currently is outfitted with and how those prosthetics attach to understand whether you could just replace them or whether she has to have custom ones built and then surgically attached to her. It could be very easy, it could be very difficult, but you need to see her to know.
Yeah, that's your sister, right? She's
Correct.
on the ship with us for a bit. Yeah, I didn't really get a chance to speak with her. I was just, me, just
it's
always
just,
in my workshop.
next
I'd
time you have a
to-
chance, it's not like a, rush or anything like that, but I just like her to be a little bit better protected if the worst comes to pass.
All right, well, just you know where to find me, so just bring her on by and we can give the prosthetics a look and see what we can do.
Robbie, if you want to take a look in, I think all three of the main core books, actually, they have cybernetic replacements that you can purchase, and you can look through those and get an idea of what they would cost to get them for her. Yeah, they're actually in the books. Yeah, so you all are given a couple hours to go do whatever you feel like while you're just waiting for Glora Jost to make his way to Dantooine. What do people want to do?
Buy my sister a Cortex bomb.
Goes
what?
to look what a Cortex bomb is.
No, that just sounded really cool. Oh my god, cybernetic arms are so much money.
That's because they give you a strength up.
Or
Or
agility up.
Or
but yeah.
agility up, yeah.
Is this a chance I can use to work on my kyber crystal or no?
You can work on your kyber crystal, although I'm going to tell you a little bit. Since you've had 2 months, you've had time to research your Ruusan crystal a little bit. If you would like, you may make a difficulty 2 lore check with with a blue boost die. And I will tell you what you have learned about your Ruusan crystal in the 2 months.
Yep, that's 3 with a difficulty of 2.
Difficulty is 2, so 2 purple, yep.
Oh, green, 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 purple, purple, blue.
4 successes and 2 threat. All right, take 2 strain.
Oh.
But
Okay.
as you strain to remember what it is that you learned, you have been able to... I'll give you 3 pieces of information about the Ruusan crystal. The Ruusan crystal is indeed a crystal that only is partially formed in the Force. It is the attachment to its owner that eventually lets it form fully in the Force and be used in a lightsaber. They are known as the Teacher's Crystal. That is what they have been called since time immemorial. No Jedi has ever had a Ruusan crystal as their first lightsaber crystal. It's never happened because they are passed down, as it were. Not so much from a Jedi handing it off to like an apprentice or something like that. It is that unlike most kyber crystals, which attune to a Jedi and then they could be whoever claims the lightsaber next would have that Kyber crystal. Rusan crystals, when their Jedi dies, they fade back into the ether. They fade back out of the Force effectively, and cannot be used. The lightsaber literally just turns off. And so they are seen as passing down the information of Jedis of years past to Jedis of the future, because they will then reattune into the Force and select a new person to wield them. And that's why they are called the Teacher's lightsaber, or Teacher's crystal. They also are known to appear to those who are teachers themselves, those who show others how the Force works. You couldn't help but feel, as you understood this, that in a time when suddenly your friends around you became awakened to the Force, and no longer were there a lot of Jedi to teach, perhaps that is why the crystal selected you in that moment.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I know I've completed the first phase, so now it's still not fully corporeal. It's still translucent, right?
It is. It's not yet usable, and it doesn't. All Kyber crystals have a hum that they give off. Jedi describe this as their crystal singing to them, but yours does not. Yours is silent at the moment, so it is not yet singing to you either.
Make it sing, Anaris.
Okay. I don't know what else to do about that right now.
Well, as you make your way downstairs back to your meditations, you actually see Sifu looking around the meditation chamber that you've set up. And what in particular she's looking at is the placard of the Jedi Code that is on the wall.
I'm just gonna casually walk up and not try to scare her.
Always
And-
a good approach.
And I don't even know how to approach this. And I'm just gonna casually be like, "So how well do you know how to use that lightsaber you have?"
She glances over at you. Well enough. I have been training with it for 4 years now. Before that, I used vibro swords, but Father presented me with a lightsaber, and now I use that.
Interesting.
It is, Anaris, very unusual to see a Mandalorian this powerful in the Force. You can tell. I mean, she's not as strong as you are in the Force, not like that kind of powerful, but like for an untrained youngling who hasn't even been taken as a Padawan, she is pretty powerful in the Force and very unusual for a Mandalorian. She looks at the code. This is the Jedi Code.
It is.
There is no emotion, there is peace. What does that mean?
Emotions can play tricks on the mind. If you aren't aware of your surroundings and your aggressions or any sight of feelings, it can take control of you and lead you to the side and the path that leads to darkness.
He nods, understanding. There is no chaos, there is harmony. There is no death, there is the Force. It's very different than the lessons I was taught growing up.
And what were you taught growing up about the Force?
Very little about the Force. My people don't know much about it, but I was taught that Jedi are our enemies. This seems like a good message.
Well, enemies are a matter of perspective.
Perspective.
To us, we're enemies of the Sith. And in our eyes, the Sith are our enemies. It all depends on the side of the side of the wall that you're on.
I think I understand. She looks at you again. You asked how good I was with my lightsaber. Would you care to see?
It's very tempting, but I also don't feel like losing a limb today.
Perhaps with a training dummy, then.
How about you show me how much you can use it?
Very well. You're surprised at how calm she is. Mandalorian children are typically very high energy and very aggressive. She is not. She is very placid and very calm. Yeah. So as she is standing there, she looks over to one of the training dummies in the room and ignites her lightsaber. She takes a stance. It is untrained, but you recognize it as a vibro sword's fighting style. She was taught to use her lightsaber the way she uses a vibro sword. This is not necessarily a bad thing. The vibro sword is a great tool, and it is a strong way to fight, but it does not take full advantage of the lightsaber's capabilities. So, yeah, it's not ideal, but you like as strong as she is in the Force, you can tell she could do some damage even trained in the wrong abilities. But she begins showing you some of her kata and stances, and before attacking the training dummy, she's pretty good. Like, for a 13-year-old, she's really good. But there is room for improvement, for sure.
Trying to think of what to say next. Instead of using the stance that you've been taught to use, why don't you try this? And then I show her the stance that I use as an advisor and a healer.
Yep. Okay. What's your best stat?
I don't know what stance is that it is.
What's your best stat?
My best stat for
your
which
character
one?
trait. What's your best? Your the stat you have the highest number in for your character traits. Brawn, agility, willpower.
It's intellect and agility and willpower are all threes.
Are all threes. All right. I'm going to say that you are going to use Nemon, which is willpower. So you show her the Nemon stance. It is a stance that is a somewhat defensive stance that is used to protect others, usually. It is it fits for her. You feel like this will be a good way for her to fight, and she does seem to take to it. The motions come very naturally to her, and she nods. Before long, you can tell that with daily practice of this, she could be a very formidable lightsaber duelist.
Not bad. Better than I was the first time I tried.
It is not my first time trying.
Oh. No, but it's always oh, what's the phrase? It's always awkward when trying a new stance, though.
Yes. Using the lightsaber for the first time was very awkward. I was suddenly much more aware of how much damage it could do.
Damage, yes, but you always have to look at the lightsaber as an extension of yourself.
See. She glances at the code one more time. There is no passion. There is serenity. I think I like that one the most.
I'm just going to stand there and just kind of be in awe at the simple fact that someone who is not trained at all can just be so content with herself in the Force and not even really understand its purpose.
Mm-hmm. She is not your typical Mandalorian child. That is to say the least of it. But yeah, she nods, and after about an hour of working with you, she smiles. Thank you for the lesson. I've never had a proper teacher.
Well, if you're willing to learn, I'm willing to teach.
She nods for a moment, thinking about that. The Jedi, they call that a Padawan.
We do.
May I think about it?
You may.
Thank you.
But only give me the decision when you know you are ready.
She nods and smiles. Thank you. I will. And then she'll bow and walk out of the room. Anaris.
Yes.
You've completed phase 2 of
Woohoo!
your lightsaber. You have become a teacher. And to be clear, you were already making big progress on that when you helped Raven and Galvin. So like this was the final step of it, was to offer to become a Padawan, or to take a Padawan rather. So I do have to hydrate. Thank you. What will I do? All right. As you finish, as Sifu walks out of the room, you feel your crystal vibrate once and pulse, and you hear a soft hum come from it. The way all kyber crystals are supposed to. It's a low, deep hum that seems to reverberate straight through your spine and to your heart, but it's reassuring, not the way you would expect it to shake you. It's comforting to hear it. You understand. You know it. You've had a kyber crystal before. You know what it means when a crystal sings to you, but you've never had one sing to you like this. This sounds beautiful. And that is the end of phase 2 of your Rusan crystal. All right. Anybody else got something they want to do in their downtime?
I'd head back to the ship to see if the Durasteel was something else.
Transparasteel.
The Transparasteel was delivered, and if it's enough for Ozzy.
It was. Ozzy is in your room, or what was once your room. She's claimed it as her own by now, and you're not getting it back. The door is open. Inside this room, Ellie is running on a treadmill. And she is working at the workbench. You can see that the Transparasteel, she has used a laser cutter to take a big portion of it off and is shaping it into what will become the new visor for your helmet. Because the old one was broken by somebody. She glanced over as you come in, and she lifts up her goggles to look over at you. Oh, look who's back. You work quick.
I see you got what you needed. Well, apparently it pays to know the Mandalore.
It does, doesn't it?
I'm going to walk over and take her arm and kind of take a look at the prosthetic. You mentioned this as kind of being...
One sec. At first she's like, excuse you.
No, just give me, hold on one sec. Can you describe it to me again? Because the way that you kind of described it before was like, it's a very like minimal.
It is. It's a very minimalistic design. It was when she was originally injured, she was offered better armor, better prosthetics. If she, I mean, they would have had to pay for them, but they could have afforded them. You're a pretty wealthy family. But she took the stance that she was going to become a smith anyway and didn't need to fight anymore. She would serve the Mandalorian people in another way. So it is a very minimalistic design. You can see as you take the glove off of her hand, a fully robotic hand that goes all the way up. It is not much more than just a couple of solid metal bars that go all the way up.
Are we thinking like when Luke first gets his metal hand, like how simple and like bare it is?
Yeah, it's similar to that. It's functional, but it is very simplistic and probably would not hold up great in a fight. She thinks, "Can I help you?"
No, you're actually already doing that for me. I put the glove back on her hand. But I want to be able to help you as well. And if the worst comes to pass, I know you don't think that you need to fight anymore, but I would feel better knowing that you have the ability to.
Gives you a look like, well, you're thinking it's time for an upgrade?
I think so. The kid that was on our ship when we first took you on, Galvin
Sidrus,
had the annoying droid along with him the whole time. If we get him the materials, he can make the upgrades.
I like that droid. But very well. I like Galvin. He is capable. I saw some of his records. He's impressive.
He is.
Very well. If you have the equipment and the know-how, I will always never say no to an upgrade, I suppose.
I have the credits, and I think I can get us what we need.
On that note, she hands you the finished helmet, taking it off the stand. It is as it was. She has rebuilt it. It is to be clear, actually, it's better than it ever was. Your armor was old and jank when you got it,
Mhm.
and it is very nice now. It is finished. She has brought it up to more modern standards of what Mandalorian armor should be and look like. Yeah, it looks like it's sized for you perfectly, and it is ready to use. You may take a set of Mandalorian armor with 6 encumbrance, 2 soak, and 1 defense, both melee and ranged.
Does her workbench have the ability to customize it like aesthetically as well, like paint, decal, stuff like that?
I mean, you could do that on your ship, yeah.
That's something I do on the ship. Okay.
I mean,
no problem.
even it here, or certainly in what was Galvin's workshop downstairs, there would be the equipment to do that if you wanted to make it look
Okay.
your own way.
Mhm.
She glances at you. Oh, so on that note, what do you want me to work on next? I can start working on the flamethrower or the jetpack.
DM, what's the specs of what the flamethrower would do?
So let me get the wrist-mounted flamethrower up for you, and I'll just send it right your way.
I guess I could just Google the 2 of them, couldn't I?
The jetpack is going to have some custom stats that I'm going to have to make for it, but it's going to allow you to basically do super jumps.
And then probably outside of combat, fly around.
Yeah, exactly. Outside of combat situations when it would call for it.
What sort of would that be planetary piloting? Or what sort of skill would that use? Just
Planetary piloting. It might be arguable for being like your athletics, acrobatics sort of thing. I would have to think about that for just a moment. Underbarrel
Not
flame
much
projector, is that
better.
it? Yes, this is it. So it's going to function effectively as an underbarrel flame projector, which I am dropping in our chat now. There you go. That is what it will effectively work like. Although, unlike that one, which has infinite ammo, yours will have ammo.
I assume burn 5 is like a dot type mechanic.
5 damage every turn.
And what is blast 2?
It's AoE damage.
Man,
A term I thought I'd never hear in Star Wars.
Blast 2 basically means it's 2 damage to anyone caught in range of it.
Oh, on top of just the damage that it does?
No, it would do 5 damage to your target it's 10 damage, isn't it, for that weapon?
10 damage minus soak.
Minus soak.
5
and then
burn damage, and then an additional 2 blast damage.
And then 2 blast damage to anyone who gets it. They don't get the 10 damage, though. They get the 2 damage.
Yeah, you know what? Sure. Let's go with
flamethrower?
the flamethrower. Promise me this one's gonna blow up though, right?
Ozzy gives you a very annoyed look.
Okay,
Listen.
Too soon.
Listen.
Good work with Ellie, by the way.
Yeah. She nods, though, and looks at you very seriously. Kane. Song. I'm not going to... The reason these things take time is because I'm going to do them right. When I had my little accident here, I was actually working with a new model flamethrower that I had developed. You see, you may remember, flamethrower's biggest weakness is that the fuel lines ran on the outside of the armor. So one cut, one blast on the arm, suddenly your flamethrower is worthless. I had the idea, what if I ran the fuel lines under the armor and they would be protected by it? And I developed a flamethrower that worked that way. It's perfect. It was beautiful design, elegant. It worked really, really well for about 2 years. And then I was in a fight, and I caught a shot right on the wrist, right where the fuel lines came up out of the armor into the flamethrower, and they ruptured, and fuel poured over my flesh underneath the armor and caught flame. So I started, burning inside of my armor. Got, as you can see, most of me before they were able to pry my armor off of me. But, yeah, no more mistakes. We're going to be a little bit more careful with yours.
Well, you know what Dad always said? Scars build character.
Yeah, I noticed Dad didn't have as many scars.
He didn't have a lot of character either.
She starts to laugh. You are not wrong. You're not wrong.
Raj is going to be coming over later tonight to catch up. You are welcome.
Uncle
to join us.
Raj is coming?
Did no one tell you that he was coming? That he was on planet?
No.
Oh well, you know what? You can blame the Mandalore for that. I figured you were in the know-how.
No one ever
her-
tells me anything. You least
right,
of
look.
all.
Sorry, her lapdog was there. I finished. You would at least know.
Her laptop. Oh my god. Katra.
What do we call her now? She
Katra.
gave up her name.
Her name. Her first name. Oh my gosh.
We'll see.
All right. I'm looking forward to seeing Uncle Raj.
I'm sure he's looking forward to seeing you as well.
Half of me.
He's looking forward to seeing you as well.
Fair enough. All right. Does anyone else have something they would like to do?
I actually never got around to get talking to Anaris about the Force Powers thing. So
Sure. If you want to go do that.
You guys seek him out now, and
So
talk
it's
to
been about an hour. You went back to the to your workshop to reattach M3T4's head. He looks at you gratefully. Statement. Thank you, Master. Ominous prediction. I fear this will happen again.
Yep. They just gotta get used to you. You gotta. We'll get you a better body here soon, and then hopefully that won't happen anymore.
Statement. I have located one that I believe would be sufficient. You wished for a medical droid, correct?
Yes, I think that is definitely going to be a better approach for you.
The most recent requisitions form listed a... goes to look at which one it is. The most recent requisitions form listed a CT4 medical droid that had come in. This would serve our purposes famously.
Do you know where that came in at?
It was located on the southern end of the camp.
All right. Tell you what, I need to go make a quick stop and talk to Anaris, and then on my way back, I'll swing down and see if I can make a request to requisition that. And
Statement. I will wait here, Master. I have had my head blown off enough for one day.
yeah, maybe if you see Stompy or Kane come by, just try to hide or something.
Statement. I will hide. All right. So you leave. And are you going to Anaris first?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Anaris first.
Yep. So you know relatively where Anaris is. He's always somewhere in the temple. So you just kind of wander for a little bit, and it isn't too long. You see the girl from before, Sifu Rook. You see her leaving one of the training dojos down on the bottom floor of the temple, and inside is Anaris. Sifu looks quite pleased as she leaves.
What was I like up and looking down, or like did I pass right by her?
You're coming down the hallway, and she exits the room and walks past you.
I just I'm not gonna say anything to her.
That's fine.
Just keep going.
She does seem deep in thought, so that's fine. You enter though, and Anaris is in the training dojo.
Is he like currently like sitting there meditating, or is he just like kind of?
You tell me, Anaris. What are you doing currently?
I'm probably just kind of standing there in disbelief of what I just saw.
Fair enough.
Hey, Anaris, what's going on?
Galvin, what brings you down here?
I'm not even sure myself, actually. I know we didn't necessarily get off on the right foot when we first met, but we've kind of grown as a group and come to know each other pretty well, learned some things, grown as people. After what HK-47 did, it seemed like there was something that it felt like I had this weird voice in the back of my head, and it just would not go away. And when I told you before about how I decided to continue working on the droid and, make sure everything. That voice kind of felt like it led me to that decision. And I know that you Jedi always talk about the Force and your mystical voodoo magic that just manifests itself. And, I always thought it to be a load of bollocks, but thinking maybe there's something there, because I've had a few incidents over these last few months that I can't quite explain.
Well, at the moment, anything is quite possible with what I've seen in the past couple months. What exactly does this voice tell you?
Well, when I was sitting alone, thinking to myself about what had just transpired, I had thought of who to blame. And at first, I just wanted to blame the droid, because obviously the droid was the one who did the task. But I realized that the droid is just while droids have a form of sentience, they're only as sentient as their creators or masters allow them. And while I thought I was in charge, I did not have as much control as I thought, and I decided that I should blame myself. And in that realization, the voice sort of felt like this nudging in the direction of what I should do going forward. And there was this echo of bringing some kind of balance to the universe, and therefore, because the droid caused this problem, that it should also be the one to fix it. And while I have been working on miscellaneous tasks and projects here and there, there's been occasions where I miscut something with the solder something, or miscut something, and get a little frustrated. And normally I would just have to get a new piece, but somehow the machinery seemed to fix itself.
Anaris, what Galvin is describing is a ability in the Force that a very specific branch of the Jedi use. You've heard of the Jedi artisans. They make things with the Force, machinery, devices, gadgets, and they're known for being able to use the Force to basically repair and meld and mend machinery with it. This sounds a lot like the ability that Galvin is describing. And I will try to remember now. Actually, Galvin, you have it written down. Which Force power is that called in the book this time?
Manipulate.
Manipulate, thank you. Yeah.
Sounds like the mending cantrip to me.
I mean, no, Malcuria just said it. It's a Jedi technomancer. That's basically what it is.
Interesting. The skill you're describing, I've encountered a couple times, but I've never seen it actually used.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying this is part of your Force wizardry?
Well, I wouldn't call it wizardry, but
That's reasonable.
I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing. Okay, All right. Damn. I wouldn't call it wizardry, but I would say it is a feeling from it. So what you're experiencing is pretty much the Force itself telling you how to use your hands and how to create these things that you're working on, which is what gave you the trust in the droid, not the old droid, this droid. Now, whether I can trust this new droid or not, that's yet to be seen. However, I do trust you. But the anger, that's something we'll have to work on. Because the anger can cause terrible things to happen. And I'm just going to kind of stare off into the distance for a little bit.
I understand. I appreciate you taking the time to hear me out, and we'll have to explore this further, I suppose.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
As loath as I am to admit it, I think there may be something to this, and it may be useful to have more control over, not control, more, have further ability to have the ability to further my mechanical means.
So, Galvin, with Anaris's help and guidance, you will now be able to buy into the Jedi Artisan specialization of the Jedi Sentinel tree. Again, he's not able to walk you through becoming a master of this, but he can show you the basics and allow you into the tree, and then you will develop them yourself. Okay. And so, yeah, he has agreed to help you, and you may do that after session.
And then I'll take my leave and head down to the southern part of the camp.
So the southern part of the camp has basically been made a requisitions area. They have been salvaging some of the ships that went down in the battle of they call it now the Battle of Dantooine. So they've been salvaging some. Yeah, they're real creative. What all these battles are named after, just whatever planet it happened near.
The battle that happened here.
Incidentally, yeah, about 10 years ago, there was another Battle of Dantooine. So.
Oh, so this is the Battle of Dantooine 2, the Mandalore Boogaloo.
Historically speaking, this is probably like the Battle of Dantooine 10,000, but, you know.
Fair enough.
Anyway, this southern part of the camp has been made a salvage yard, effectively, as they try to salvage and scrap ships and try and put some back together. You can see a lot of them are being loaded up, probably to be taken to Celeste or to Dak, where they can actually rebuild or repair ships with some of this scrap. But as you get down there, you see a couple Mandalorians wearing the armor of Clan Mudhorn on them, and they seem to be going through some of the scrap and just making records of what they have.
Hello, yes. I am Galvin Sidris. I would like to request I heard that there was a medical droid CT4 unit body that came in and was wondering if I could requisition an order to potentially use it to create a medical droid for the field.
One of them glances over at you. Who the hell do you think you are? And then the other one immediately puts a hand on his shoulder, like, relax. Sorry. This is all property of Mandalore, sir. You oh, you're the one who's here with the workshop, aren't you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. He works with Mandalore. Want me to call it in? Yeah, call it in. Raven, you're on your ship right now. And your holopad goes off for the 12,000th time this hour. And as you reach for it, Katra bats your hand away, takes it, and responds herself, approving Galvin's request for it. And then she takes your holopad from you and puts it away.
Could have handled that.
She just looks at you. You are going to sleep if I have to put you to bed myself.
Fine.
Galvin, it is a moment later when you. Sorry, channeling too much real life energy right there. Galvin, it is a moment later when you the guy looks at the pad and goes, "Oh, that was quick." Yeah, all right. The CT4 unit's over in Bay 16. You can go over and pick it up.
Very much appreciated. Give my regards to Mandalore.
You see her more than we do, sir.
That's fair enough.
And so
You don't have to talk to those Mudhorn nerds, by the way.
I know. I don't know why I used Clan Mudhorn there, but it felt right. Fuck Clan Mudhorn.
It did. They're just out taking care of junk. It was absolutely right. That was the correct choice.
Yeah, I thought so. So you head over, indeed, in Bay, whatever number I just said, 16. There is a CT4 medical droid amongst the pile of scrap in there, and you're able to salvage it. I am going to give you your stats on your new droid. Your droid may now be used in combat. It is a fully functional combat droid, although it is not designed for combat. It is a medical droid. I would not advise putting it in the line of fire very often. On your turn, Galvin, you may use your maneuvers or your action to instead have the droid perform a maneuver or action. And your droid is right here, not the commando droid. You want the CT4 medical droid. And I will drop that in our group chat. Boom. For those who wish to know what the CT4 medical droid can do, as soon as it loads, it does not have much of a fighting ability, but it does have back to specialist 2, which means that patients heal 2 additional wounds when they heal wounds from back to tanks or long-term care. It can help you basically heal in a back to tank or take back to stim better. They have Surgeon 1, so when making a medicine check to help character heal wounds, the target heals an additional wound. The droid does not need to breathe, eat, or drink, and can survive in a vacuum or underwater, and it's immune to poisons and toxins. It also has surgical tools and a synth flesh applicator, so it can help you heal critical injuries, which is very valuable to have.
So, using a stim pack is the medicine check. It basically gives stim packs an extra 1 heal.
Yes, you gain an extra wound back when you use stim packs while the droid is available to help you.
Cool.
If you heal on a back to tank, you get to heal an extra 2 wounds. That said, Bacta is in very short supply right now because, damn it, Felucia. Medicine.
Can I
Oh yeah.
give the droid stims to administer itself?
Yes, you can. And in fact, the other nice thing about this droid, this is not written as part of the droid, this is a bonus that I put on it, is that once per session, the droid may salvage a stim pack.
Just reaches down Ellie's throat and pulls a stim pack out.
I mean, sometimes, or it just makes one out of whatever happens to be around. I wouldn't leave your valuables in the area. Okay. Stumpaka, did you have anything that you wanted to do in your downtime?
Yes. I'll just go ahead and sit in what I assume is my room that I have on Dantooine.
You've been given a room in the Jedi Temple. Mm-hmm.
And I'll just go ahead and focus with my handy-dandy holocron.
Very well, then. Okay. So you sit, and you begin to meditate. You've been working with Sela almost every day, and she seems quite pleased with your progress as you start to understand the basics of Juyo. For those who are just joining us for the first time, Juyo is the practice of Vapad control, where one learns to use the dark side without succumbing to it. It is very rare and very difficult. In fact, in Star Wars, there have only ever been 2 confirmed masters of Vapad control. Those were Kinlan Voss
Oh.
and Mace Windu. So
Mace Windu? Oh, I didn't know that.
Mace Windu is a VOP HUD control specialist. Yes.
He could have if he wanted to.
I mean, I'm sure. As you meditate with your holocron, you feel the world fade away as you always do, and darkness overtakes you. And when you look up, you are indeed in that same place that you always are. Bright blue light, faintly in the distance, illuminating the area. But you do not see Stila there. Instead, you see another person. And Sarah, I will allow you to describe who Stumpaka sees.
You see a woman who is probably just a little taller than Stila was, broader shouldered. She is humanoid with green skin. You would recognize her as a Mary Allen. For those of you who don't know, Mary Allen is just as described, basically humanoids with greenish skin. The other thing you would notice about her is she has pretty bright red hair that is put into a braid behind her, and small tattoos of these tiny, incomprehensible symbols that start from the top of her head, down her forehead and nose, and then they kind of cross away across her cheekbones down to her neck. And she looks at you with a very calm smile. It is good to finally meet you, Stumpaka.
Who are you?
My name is Espera Fens. I am a Jedi Master. But you are seeing me because I am the wife of Sela.
I'm sorry, you said Espera Franz?
Fens.
Espera Fens.
Espera Fens. As part of her being able to put this holocron together, not only did she need the oversight of a Jedi Master, but she has had me here for your next lesson.
So you're here with Sela?
That is correct, for this lesson only.
That is correct, Ulvik. She is the wife of Sela.
Stompy is gonna be funny. She never mentioned you.
Well, sadly, these are only parts of our consciousness into here. I assure you it would probably be quite different if you were to see her in person. She just gives a very calm smile. You imagine that not much can really shake her.
What are you gonna teach me then?
Well, as I described before, I am Sela's wife. And so therefore, as a segue, we'll be talking about attachment. I am sure you have learned that attachment can lead to the dark side, and this is still true. Attachment can be dangerous. It can cause us to go astray from what is right, or it can cause us to do much harm because of our attachments. The truth is, Stumpaka, are people like you and Sela do not really have a choice. Attachments will always be a part of you.
I
Just
don't
when you-
know what Sela's told you about me, but I'm not one for having romantic attachments.
I am not speaking of only romantic attachments. I am speaking of any attachment. Your anger towards your master is an attachment. Not a good one, but it is one. Anger and passion, if it is to be a part of you, will always have attachment come to it. That is the way of things with such feelings. If you did not have such feelings of anger or passion, then it would not bother you to have anyone, to strike down anyone, and neither would the betrayal of your master. So therefore, we must hone that energy into a healthier attachment. For Sela, this was through her, yes, romantic relationship with me. But it does not have to be this way. She could have just as easily found it with a friend, father figure, anything like that. Instead, this is what worked for her. The romantic attachment was nice for me, but it was a necessity to keep Sela from the dark side. So that is what I will charge you to meditate on. To think about your attachments to others, whatever they may look like, and what a healthy attachment to keep you on the right path would look like.
Stompy just kind of laughs a little bit. It's funny. My old master always warned me against having attachments, and I guess I took that more to heart than I realized, because I don't have many social attachments, especially considering that being a Wookiee, I outlive most other races.
It's true. And unfortunately, from what I understand of your master, perhaps he took that energy of your attachment only to himself. Which was
Kind of
not
a
good
dick.
For you. That is how Sela would say it. She's not here to tell me I'm wrong.
Fair enough, I suppose.
But yes, you do bring up a point. Your longevity. That does make things difficult. But remember, too, that the important thing of attachments is the strength of it can still be felt even after those have died. Your master's poor example being one of them. So do not fear the death of friends. If they are good, they are healthy. That feeling will long outlive their smaller lifespans than yours.
Stompy just kind of has like a dazed look, just trying to think and actually take her words to heart and like think of how he was going to apply them. And he just gives a couple nods.
With that, your vision begins to fade. You wake up in the back in your room. The holocron has gone silent for the moment, giving you time to think on the words that you've heard from Jedi Master Espera Fens. And next session you'll be able to return to her with what you have learned about yourself, what you have come to conclude. And when she has decided that you understand the nature of a healthy attachment and perhaps have even formed one, she will clear you.
Oh no, a
AKA.
healthy attachment.
AKA, I will be the grader here.
AKA the therapist will decide whether it's a healthy attachment. So,
Oh man!
I wouldn't use Ellie.
yeah, I would not use Ellie. But yes, for those who don't know, yes, in our game where we played as Sela and Espera, they did become lovers at one point. So
Dolvik was saying that me being married to you gave me perspective, but I'm afraid the story is much more complicated than that.
yeah, it was pretty complicated. So
Yeah.
but no, it was they did get a lot of perspective from each other, though, I would say.
That's what I mean. I'm saying wasn't a one-way street.
No, definitely not. All right. So, okay. That is phase 4 of completing your holocron.
Oh, phase 4 complete?
No, that when you complete that, it will be phase 4.
Okay.
We're all so far behind Stompy and his stupid holocron.
You just gotta avoid all the side quests. Just do the MSQ, and you'll get through it real easy.
All right.
That's the man that tried to gut me open on the first day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did happen.
And then was
Hey.
awarded a holocron for it.
You know what? Maybe next time, don't look like my master. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just gonna ask that we take a quick 2 minutes to grab a drink, whatever you need. I just need to use the bathroom real quick. So, everyone, good time to go grab a drink.
Okay.
Really? You weren't expecting excited waifu responses from our chat?
Just people like hearts and.
Never underestimate the casual thirst. That's correct. It's a good lesson to learn. Ah, yes. No, I was so excited that everyone got to meet Espera, and thank you to Sarah for being willing to do that. Appreciate you being willing
You're
to do that scene.
welcome. Anybody?
Well, it's about time she did something because she just like takes up a slot in this Discord the whole time.
Well, wow. Okay.
That's an interesting choice considering they just explained to you that she gets to decide when you pass your next holocron test.
Oh, right.
I've also helped with story. Callie has asked me to sit in, despite the fact that I was hoping to play in it, but she said, "No, Sarah, I can't stop spoiling things in front of you. So please
You
just
know
be
what?
here." So,
Sarah,
yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna open a spot on my Monday night campaign if you would like in.
Aw, I would appreciate that.
There we go.
All right. If you would like to join, Callie, we're gonna put you on the bench.
Oh, it was a joke.
Oh, rejected.
No, it's fine.
All right. Let's dive back in.
Real
Mate.
quick,
Just really quick, can I show off my pumpkin cookie to everybody?
Oh, that's a great pump cookie.
it's a good one. What does it say about myself as a person when I'm standing over the oven, eating out of the pot of macaroni and cheese using the stirring spoon instead of just getting a plate?
You're still in
said-
college. That's what it says.
It says everything we already knew.
At least it's cooked.
I was gonna say it's not frozen, is it?
It's definitely cold, but it kind of tastes good cold.
All right. Anyway, Kane, you are resting on the ship,
Eating a cookie.
eating a cookie. When you
Ellie
hear,
is at my feet begging for some of it.
yeah, Ellie's like, "Come on, I've been doing really good."
My cookie, Ellie.
She goes, "Ah."
Nope.
She gives that look when she's gonna vomit on something that you don't want her to.
I swear to God, if you vomit on something and if you don't think that I could find someone willing to take out your glands, you better think again.
And she marches off angrily, but she can walk.
You're
Um,
welcome.
You hear a ring at your door, as if someone is when they press the button to say they want to come in.
Oh, I was gonna say, do ships have doorbells?
I mean, not like a doorbell, but they would just like have a button they would press that would say,
Sure.
"Hey, someone's at the door."
Sure. So I head down into the hangar, drop the landing pad.
Mm-hmm. Sifu Rook is there.
Oh, Sifu, expected your dad.
I'm sure he'll be along. He's timely as ever.
Well, please come on in.
Yeah. And she walks up and enters and bows. Thank you.
You don't have to do that here. If you see a giant Gizka running around, it's mostly friendly.
She gives you a look, like the pest.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe her. Mm-hmm.
How most people would describe her. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, you're Kane, right?
You can call me Song.
Song. Okay. Song. My dad always told me that I could trust you. That you were, how did he put it? He told me you were the best Mandalorian I would ever meet, and you wouldn't be what I expected.
It's both what and not expected. Well, here, come on upstairs, and I take her up into the common room.
Yep. She'll sit down.
Your dad always saw the best in me, and I appreciated that of him. But I'm not a very good Mandalorian, depending on who you ask. Been a bit more so these days, but
that's actually why I'm here. I don't think I'm a very good Mandalorian either.
That's a good thing. For all their talk of strength, our people are one of the weakest in the galaxy. I mean, sure, we take down big monsters and, seem cool to most others, but beyond a fight, there's not a whole lot that we have going for us. And thanks to Mandalore Somnus, millions of people aren't around to potentially help with the end of the galaxy.
I
Song
mean,
takes a bite of his cookie.
she thinks about that for a moment. 14,012, but who's counting? Listen. I've been trying to understand the Mandalorian code since I was young. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Father says it is the place of Mandalorians to conquer, to rule. But I don't get that. To me, Mandalorians, those who are strong, should protect those who are not.
There are parts of the Mandalorian code that have value. But honestly, growing up, I questioned it the same way that you did, because when I look at it, all I see is a way for those who are in power to control those who are not in power. I left when I first had the chance to. And I found something else worth fighting for.
I read the Jedi code in that temple. It makes sense to me. I understand it. I know the Jedi weren't. Maybe they weren't what they were supposed to be, but the message was good. Am I a bad daughter and a bad Mandalorian for believing in that?
No, where things usually get muddled is when people start to form groups and organizations, because groups and organizations have agendas. But so long as you follow in your heart what you believe to be true, honestly, it doesn't matter what other people think.
You know the Jedi, right? Anaris?
I do. Neris is a good kid.
I was taught that I should hate him. He seems nice. Why would I hate him?
Good perspective.
He talked about perspective too. Can I trust him?
I think so, but when asking yourself whether or not you can trust people, know that before you put your trust in them, you have to know that you can trust yourself first over anyone else.
I do trust myself. I am capable, I think. He wishes to instruct me as a Jedi. This would be seen as an act of heresy in our clan. But I think I want to do it.
How old are you?
13.
So you would have just been a baby when former Mandalore Vizsla was replaced by Mandalore Somnus.
Yes, I was. I can't remember such times.
If your dad asks, you didn't hear this from me. But you know why Mandalore Vizsla was dethroned by Somnus?
She shakes her head. No.
Because he wanted to join the Republic. He wanted the Mandalorians to become one with the rest of the galaxy. You know what they call that?
Heresy.
Mm-hmm.
Treason.
But in order for the galaxy to change, Sometimes it takes heresy and treason.
Father was right about you.
Which part?
Not at all what I expected.
Hmm.
But you're a terrible Mandalorian. She smiles.
The highest compliment you could have gave me.
Thank you, Song. I'm going to ask Anaris to teach me.
Well, you don't have a lot of choices at this point, but he's a good one.
She stands and bows.
Cookie? I offer her one.
She, you can see a little bit of conflict on her face of, I am too old to be excited about a cookie, but goddamn do I want that cookie. And she kind of like grabs it and munches on it. Thank you.
Welcome.
And then she leaves. It's about an hour later when Raj arrives on the ship. He doesn't have his cadre with him or anything like that. He just is him. He's not wearing his cape either. He's just dressed casually. I'm
wearing a cape.
He is.
All right, Lando.
He is not at all surprised. As he enters the ship, he puts out his arms and pulls you into a tight hug. Good to see you. Oh
and you, as I pull back, I turn back and flap the cape as I walk up into the common room.
He groans. Ugh. All right.
I understand why you what you see in these. They're very dramatic.
They're a family heirloom. Thank you for that. That's kind.
Also, don't say that I didn't warn you. You're about to be in trouble, though.
Oh?
And we head up, and I call Ozzy out.
Oh, boy. Ozzy...
no. Instead of calling her out as I walk up, I just say very loudly, I really don't understand why you asked the Mandalore not to tell people you were coming, but, you know, it's your choice, I suppose.
Ozzy practically kicks the door down before you're like, Uncle Raj, and runs over and hugs him. And he looks at her kind of surprised. He hasn't seen her in a while, and last time he heard about her, she was in Grey Wolf and definitely a treasoner. But he's very happy to see her. And he hugs her back in return. And she smiles brightly. It has been too long since we've been able to shake hands, and they do. Raj smiles at you and nods. I see you two are getting along again.
I mean, in my defense, I never didn't get along with her.
She gives a look that's like, me. Raj is like, Well, how about a drink, I think, for all of us, yes?
I break out the hard stuff, which is very high so that someone can't burn it away.
Ozzy, you're old enough to drink now, right? The 40-year-old Smith flips him off.
You know, it's kind of unfair that we got so old and somehow she didn't.
She's like, well, I traded half my body to stay young. What can I say?
It's the hair that I'm most jealous of.
She does still have bright, fiery red hair. Yeah. So. Raj.
Raven.
Raj nods and he sits down and enjoys his drink. So, Song, you've been gone for a long time. What happened after Lelia? I'm sorry again.
He takes a shot, and then another one. Well, I never found out who did it, or why. And to be honest, I was a little afraid to. So, you know, takes another shot.
You thought one of us did it.
I was afraid to find out. I did not want to have to take vengeance on the few left in this galaxy that I loved, so I died the day that they did. I picked up this hunk of junk and looked for jobs that would kill me. There are very few.
Yeah, clearly you didn't find any.
Yeah.
Pity. So then, I got some information off the Vanguard as they were passing through Terrace. Some of their ship's logs. One I understand you and Ozzy were looking for, the Lady in Waiting.
Is part of the Vanguard.
No, it is part of the Sith Armada.
That's
It
the
is-
info that I had as well.
It's the flagship. It belongs to Darth Toxus.
I was told it was a prisoner ship.
I'm sure it has prisoners on it, but it is the flagship. You would know a massive frigate or a
Sure,
flagship
sure.
of an armada definitely has a brig.
Mm-hmm.
I have no doubt that if there's someone on the Lady in Waiting that you're wanting to see, all you need to do is stick around. They'll find us eventually.
Of that, I have no doubt. He takes another shot.
Ozzy's kind of like, easy.
Don't worry. Some of us can handle our liquor.
Wow, listen, I've got half a liver. What do you want from me?
That's all it takes. I don't know if I want to know what's on that ship.
Sometimes it's best to let the past die.
Who you talking to?
Fair enough.
Ozzy just got done patching up my old armor.
Ha!
Had a few scratches and dents in it.
Yeah, and I'll bet you had to let the waste out too a little bit.
Okay, all right. All right.
Ozzy starts laughing her ass off. So, sorry I didn't reach out to you about Sifu. It was hard to get in contact.
It's fine, but speaking of which, a Force user?
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Don't worry, I put her on the right path.
Oh, great! I'm thrilled. I can't wait to find out what that means. Yeah, no, she you know, Io was barren, but showed up at our door one night, and well, we weren't opposed to taking in a foundling, but we didn't tell anyone that she was, and thank goodness too, because then the exile happened, and Io would have been inconsolable.
Well, I'm glad that you found.
Yeah.
Someone. Being a parent is something else.
It is. Sorry. I'm hopeful that she'll be able to learn some things from you people.
Oh, she already has.
She's not like a lot of Mandalorian children. I think it's because she can use the Force.
World would be better if a lot of our children were not like Mandalorian children.
I see not much has changed with you, Song. You never did care for it, did you?
Not the control that they exerted over us.
And then he starts blasting. No, I'm just kidding. He's fine. He nods. I know. Well, you might get your wish with that one. I don't think she's going to be Mandalore anytime soon.
Did you know about former Mandalore Vizsla and his plans?
I'd heard the rumors. Katra's father said some pretty severe things about Mandalore Vizsla before he died.
And where do you sit on it? You still think that Mandalore is most pure being as they are?
I look around at the galaxy and I don't know anymore. Like, there's 12,000 ships bearing down on us. The only reason we have a chance is because we probably fought a meaningless war. The irony is not lost even on me. But I don't know. Maybe it is time for something to change. I followed Mandalore Somnus faithfully. I believed in what he said. I believed in conquest. The point is, it didn't matter to me who they were, because I believed in the message.
It should have.
Maybe it should have, but it didn't. We're not all like you, Song. But looking back, maybe that is what drives me to now be willing to say I'll follow someone else. You vouched for Raven Vizsla, and I put my faith in that, regardless of what she decides. If it's time for the Mandalorians to change, I take her word for it, because I take your word for it.
That's the problem. Well, I do. I'm glad that you still trust me after all this time.
Never gave me a reason not to.
Patra was led astray because there was no checks. Whether we're part of the Republic or whatever comes next, a single will leading Mandalore will eventually lead to ruin.
On that, I think we agree.
Takes another shot.
We'll figure out what it means. Right now, we have to fight a war to see if we can survive.
Yep.
I will reach out to Celeste and Dak and see if I can get their ships integrated into my fleet. But we need more people. We just don't have enough.
Well, hopefully Mandalore has plans for that.
He's young.
And
Younger.
inexperienced. And emotional. And selfish at times.
And everything other Mandalores haven't been.
We'll disagree on that. Except the young part.
Nah, fair enough. I think he might actually be what we need. We're going to need something done differently if we're going to survive, because we're not winning a conventional war this way.
Mm-hmm.
Ozzy's sitting there like, buzzkills. She does another shot.
I slide a cookie towards her.
Seems pleased. She's the cookie. Raj stands after a while of you guys talking.
Yep.
Well, must return to the lines on Terrace. It is my sincere hope that we will speak again.
I stand up and flourish the cape. We will.
Ugh. Thank you.
This is how you look every time you do it.
It's every leader of Clan Rook for 1,000 years has worn it. What do you want from me?
Did we not just get done talking about how Mandalore needs to change?
Ugh. You know what? I'll think about it.
I walk him out.
You can tell he likes the cape. You're certain of it. He loves the cape. He makes his way out and leaves. And yeah, that is the end of that scene. It's about a day later when Glora Jost arrives in a Republic freighter. This Republic freighter has seen better days. In fact, probably every day this Republic freighter has been a better day than the one it is seeing right now. This thing looks like it's been through a war. It still has fires on it right now. Like, it is on fire as it lands. It is very lit. Parts of it are practically falling off, Even the landing is a little sketchy for a freighter. Like, they're supposed to land pretty gently. This thing kind of crashed.
Kind of
But
falls.
It kind of, yeah, it falls gracefully to the ground. But it lands. And off of the ship steps Glora Jost, as well as about 100 Republic troops. You don't get the sense that it's anything personal. They're just in Mandalorian space, and it's like, okay. Raven, are you there to greet Glora Jost? You are muted.
Oh my god, I've been muted the entire time.
You have been muted. Yeah, we've not heard you in a while.
Were you making snide comments during my scene?
No, I was laughing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would be there. How big is this ship? Because I thought, like, the
It's-
Gizka / Razorback was technically a freighter.
It is. This is more like a Corellian corvette. The ship that Leia is on in episode 4.
Okay. That makes more sense.
It's a sizable ship. Is anyone else with Raven?
Not yet.
Glora Jost steps off the ship and looks at you, Raven. You are now, by the way, Raven, in your armor. That morning, something came from Terrace. It was finally unloaded off of Raj Rook's ship. Something that Katra had sent for. She has kept your armor for 10 years.
Oh.
And that morning, you find it waiting for you when you wake up.
Oh, that's adorable.
She thought you'd like it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Did Raven just get free Mando armor when I've had to quest for mine?
Yeah, but you're gonna get to do cool stuff to your Mando armor. Hers is gonna stay as it is.
Hey.
You'll feel fine when yours gets a cortosis weave. Don't worry.
All right. Take your word for it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you're there in your armor, and as Glora Jost approaches, is like, if I didn't see it, I wouldn't believe it. Lieutenant Lyra?
Well, it was always Fisla, but couldn't exactly give that name back then.
Well, so you're Mandalore now.
Fairly recent development.
Okay, then. How?
We had a shot at Somnus. Somnus challenged me to a duel, and I won.
Can't believe I didn't think of that. All right.
You
Well-
can do that?
I was like, apparently that's a thing you can do? All right.
Well,
Well-
when you're... I'm sorry, was Raven third or fourth in line for the throne?
4th.
Something you can do when you're fourth in line for the throne.
I see. Okay then. Well, I am here as a representative of the Vanguard of the Republic, as I was last we spoke, although now I am the commander of the Vanguard of the Republic. Everyone above me died too.
Seeing Coruscant, I didn't think anyone survived.
Very few. I mean, of the Jedi and of the Senate, very few. There's still millions of people alive on Coruscant, but, like, a lot of people died. Nods. We have been on the run for the last 2 months now, it seems like. We were able to escape Coruscant with about 4,000 ships, but we've been basically just giving the Sith the runaround for as long as we can, going from one planet to the next, holding out for as long as we can, and then retreating. Over time, we've been whittled down to about 2,000, about half of what we started with. Recently, we were caught and suffered pretty heavily casualties. So we can't engage them anymore until we have repairs done to our ships. I would ask that they be repaired at Celeste. Or sorry, to Dak, not Celeste.
We need every ship we can get. I'll see to it.
I suppose we need to discuss then what a alliance looks like? A truce?
Either one's fine by me.
The
Sith get their way, neither of us survive this.
Too true. Bastards. Here. You might as well know your enemy. I understand that communications have not been able to get out into this far into the galaxy. And he hands you a chit that would have that you could put into a computer or terminal and play. How about we meet in an hour? I will have to inform our leader that that you're willing to talk, and we can figure out the details then.
You wanna? And Raven's gonna go check out that chip.
Yep. As he's leaving, he says, I will meet you then in an hour with Grandmaster Keela Voss.
Raven looks a little bit shocked because she didn't know she was alive.
No, that was the reveal.
All right.
Yep. So as you go in, Galvin and Anaris, you are in the temple, as well as Raven comes back in holding a holocron, or not a holocron, a chit that has a data chit.
Oh.
And Kane and Stampaka, you two also are in the area.
Could I say that when Raven was done and turned around, she sees someone watching from a distance?
Sure. If you were there watching stealthily,
I was, and
make a stealth roll for me against a difficulty of 2.
You got it. Let's see. It's roll yellow, green, blue.
Against 2
to advantage.
That was against 2 purple. Good.
Yep.
All right. Perfect. All right. Yeah, you were able to remain stealthily hidden in the distance.
Not trying to be stealthy, just walked up during it.
Yep.
Didn't want to interrupt.
Got it.
Pass.
Raven, you turn and Kane is there. Song is there. Sorry.
Well, hold on. I'm going to describe myself.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
what you turn and see is Mandalore armor that you haven't seen before.
Fair enough.
Think similar to how like Deathstroke armor has like 2 sort of different colors to it.
Yeah, like the yellow and the black on either side.
Kind of, yeah. So it's most of the armor is black, and it's like the Vanta black type of stuff that doesn't reflect a whole lot. And the other side of the mask, then parts of the right side of the mask, and then parts of like the arm, the plate, and the leg is like a deep crimson red. And on the red side, when the light does hit it enough to where you can make it out, there is a obviously the Clan Vizsla is on there.
So the Mythosaur is on there?
Yes.
Yeah.
What would be the symbol just in general for Mandalorians? Is there one?
I think they generally just use the Mythosaur logo because Clan Vizsla is always the largest, which is their symbol. Let me see if there's a different Mandalore sigil. Look. Yeah, it's the Mythosaur. That's what you would use.
Okay. In a similar way to where, like, Katra had the symbol for like having defeated a Jedi.
Yep.
There's a symbol of the Mythosaur on him in that same way, signifying that he's killed a Vizsla as well. And then there's also about 57 sort of / marks down the red arm as well.
Damn, you've killed 57. Is that to symbolize you killed 57 Vislas?
No,
Oh,
that's
okay.
symbolized 57 other kills.
Okay, gotcha. I was just gonna say like you might get thrown in jail. Like I don't know.
So
Okay, yes,
as
that's
she
fine.
approaches, I just nod. Mandalore Vizsla.
Oh, that's sick as hell.
Cool.
Good to see you filling in the leader role a bit more actively now. Shall we?
You cut out for me there. I don't know if it's my Discord or the voice mod thing.
So you're filling in the leader role admirably now. And then he motions towards the temple. Shall we?
Okay. Did everyone else hear him clearly?
No, I can't.
Oh, is it not working properly? That's shitty.
It comes out so quiet. Like I can kind of hear it. It sounded like you said you're filling in the leadership role more admirably now. Shall we?
Let me.
That's kind of what I heard.
That was what I was saying.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
It is
I tried
very
to
hard.
do this earlier with Darkflux to make sure that it worked, and
It
we were
works-
having it similar, but then
Yeah, it works a
Discord's really
bit.
weird with voice mod though. Like sometimes it just like randomly doesn't.
Yeah, like
it's just super quiet.
Clear as day.
Yeah, when you said
Everything
Mandalore
sounds
Vizsla, that was great. It's perfect.
All right, I'll just get closer to the mic and see if that helps at all.
There we go.
that works.
All right, so
Cool.
you head
You and
inside.
your toys.
Yeah, she's like gonna double take like. So you fixed your or Ozzy fixed your armor.
And then some, yes.
I should probably describe Raven's armor at some point.
Probably, yeah.
There's also this symbol for Drachna on it as well.
Oh,
Uh,
yep. Go ahead and describe your armor, and then I have one other thing to point out.
okay, so the vast majority of Raven's armor is kind of like yours in that it's like fairly non-reflective and dark. She is a sniper. But on the helmet and like it's not new paint. And there's a sense of irony that you see looking at this is a Firebird.
Indeed. And Raven, as you glance over and see Kane's new armor, Song's new armor, I'm gonna have to change your name on there because I keep seeing Kane. I'm gonna keep saying that until I.
No, absolutely change it, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get it changed over to Song. I didn't realize we were changing it. But as you look down on Song's hip, you see a new gun as well. You recognize this gun. They're very illegal everywhere. Mandalorians, however, do love them. It is a disruptor pistol. It is famous for being a very short-range pistol that disintegrates what it hits. Boba Fett was known to favor a disruptor pistol. Not that any of you know who Boba Fett is, but for those watching, Boba Fett.
And then my other blaster is on my other hip, so I still have both.
Yes. But yes, there's now a disruptor pistol on his hip, which you know to be a very rare, very illegal, and very expensive gun.
Raven's gonna quirk an eyebrow, not even realizing that Song can't see that.
No.
But also on Raven's hip, now that it's not, concealed by the coat that she had over her previous armor, is the Darksaber, but it's not the same as it was the last time. Well, actually, yeah. It's not the same as it was, 2 months ago. She's made her addition to it, and the guard over the emitter is 3 wolf's heads. One with gold eyes, one with emerald green eyes, and one with sapphire eyes.
You bejeweled the Darksaber?
So yeah, it is a steel or a Durasteel wolf's head emitter now. So it's 3 wolf's heads with the snouts all pointing up towards where the blade would come out, and yes, each of the eyes is jeweled in a different color now.
And in case it's not obvious enough, you have seen all the eyes it represents.
Yeah, represents the 3 remaining members, or the 3 members of her family. So you head inside. And there you're able to meet up with Galvin, Aneris, and Stumpaka. And Raven, I believe you said you wanted to view the chit.
Yep.
You head over to a screen, to a holopad, and you're able to insert the chit, and it begins to play. And what you see is security footage. But you can tell that this was security footage that was broadcast at one point. It was meant to be shown to probably the core worlds, or maybe to the entirety of the core and inner worlds. It is on the planet Corellia, one of the main core worlds of the former Republic, and where most ships and pilots come from out there. Corellia. Anaris, go ahead and make a difficulty 1 lore check.
Green, 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 purple. Okay.
What you got?
2 explodey thingies.
2 successes. Got it. You know who these people are based on their uniforms. You've actually met them before, a bunch of them. These are the 12 council members that rule Corellia. Obviously, they have their representative in the Senate who answers to them, and they ultimately are elected by the people of Corellia. But these are the 12 council members who govern Corellia on a day-to-day basis. All of them are lined up on their knees, and behind them stand 12 figures in black, each wielding a red lightsaber. As the scene plays out, a 13th person emerges and begins to walk towards the men on their knees. And she looks like this. You want to check the stream? She approaches the first one and narrows her eyes. Where is the rebel fleet? And the man looks up at her and glares. I'll tell you nothing, he spits. And she nods and signals to the person standing behind him, who immediately cuts this man down. And she steps to the next person. Where is the rebel fleet? This man looks significantly more nervous given the person who was just bisected next to him. And he goes, I don't know. And she nods and signals to the person behind him, who immediately cuts him down. And so she progresses through this line of 12 people. 3, 4, 5, 6. And by the 7th one, she looks irritated. And she glares down at this person. Where is the rebel fleet? And the man looks up, horrified. Says, I don't know. And she holds her hand out suddenly and clenches down her fist, and the man is lifted up off the ground, clutching at his throat. And she slowly motions a finger backwards as the man's back starts to press into that lightsaber blade being held behind him. He lets out a scream of pain. Where is the rebel fleet? And she continues to inch him back, little by little, letting the lightsaber carve more into him. Before finally, he screams out, Ilos! And she nods, seeming to accept this answer. Kill them. And they are all cut down in a moment as she turns to leave. And then the feed goes dead. Corellia surrendered that day.
This is the last bastion of the Prothean civilization. This can't be a coincidence.
Yeah. So you've all just met Darth Toxis.
Doesn't seem like a nice person.
There is no one in the galaxy who would argue with that point. Except for her. She probably thinks she's nice enough. Like, they could have all died very, very painlessly, but no. It's about it.
While watching this,
Mm-hmm.
now that I don't know if just seeing her on a recording is enough or not. But can I attempt to use my force powers to see if I can sense or see where she is at this moment?
Yes, you absolutely can. If you would like to make a force check, so roll your white force dice. You need to get 2 pips, one way or another.
So 1 white and I need 2 pips.
1 white dice, you need to get 2 pips. You get 2 light side pips. You can just spend. If you get 2 dark side pips, you could take conflict and spend a destiny point.
So wait, can I use a destiny point to increase this or an upgrade in any way for this, or no?
Unfortunately, not.
Okay.
They don't have an upgrade for force checks. 2 dark side pips. Kane,
Oh,
you may
No.
spend a dark side point or spend a destiny point, take 2 strain and 2 conflict to use those dark side points in place of light side points.
To strain, to conflict, you got it. I'm
All right.
doing it.
All
As
right.
everyone else is watching this unfold, I'm tapping into the force.
He does take conflict. I gave him a morality score earlier today.
and we were worried about Juxta going to the dark side.
Kane, you watch this happen, and you feel anger burn beneath your flesh, furious rage. This person is a butcher, a torturer, and you want to know where they are, and that anger gives you focus. And in your mind, all you can think is, if I could find this person, I could strike them down. And you get a very good sense of where they are. They're definitely somewhere in the core worlds. No, they've moved to the inner worlds. They may be en route to Terrace. You are given a vision. You see a ship. Or you're on a ship, I should say. It is a room of some sort. In it, it looks like a banquet hall almost, or not quite a banquet hall. It's too small to be a banquet hall, but it's a nice, lavishly decorated room. There's food on the table. There is drinks along another table off to the wall. Artwork hangs from the walls and a chandelier from the ceiling. It's a very nice room. And in it, you see this person, Darth Toxus. And she turns and looks right at you.
You can
Is it-
see me.
As if she,
I'm going to speak out loud. I have no idea if she can hear me or not, but
so it was you. Now it makes sense. And she smirks. Well, you can't tell if she's smirking. She's got a mask over her mouth. I can't hear you.
you're going to have to be a bit more specific. This is all still pretty new to me. What am I being given credit for?
What are you talking about? What? That doesn't make any sense. You realize she's not talking to you or looking at you. She's speaking to somebody else.
Can I turn to look?
The vision ends.
Hmm.
You weren't able to look around anyway. This is just a vision you could see in your mind.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the vision ends. I have a question for you. What color were Lelia's eyes?
Blue.
Good to know.
What color were Darth Toxus's eyes?
Sith orange.
Okay.
Corrupted by the dark side. Yeah. And that's where your vision ends. You can sense they're somewhere in the inner worlds. She's definitely on the ship, the lady in waiting.
Mhm.
And they seem to be traveling at a high speed.
Okay. I have one more question about force powers.
Okay.
How often can you use them?
In roleplay terminology, when the DM thinks it's appropriate. In combat, once per turn.
Okay.
Are you wishing to try to seek someone else?
After that, yeah.
Okay. You may roll. Who are you trying to seek? And you may roll a force die.
My wife.
Interesting.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
Two
I was
light
hoping
side.
for. I was
Two more
hoping
dark
for
side.
dark side again.
Two more light side. You're just lucky that you're getting two.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like this is so appropriate too. Now
Yeah.
that I'm looking for that for my wife.
Yeah, you get the light side now that you're looking for your wife. Kane. You sense someone who should not exist. Someone you know to be dead. But someone you have been seeing visions of for a while now, for months. You do sense her presence in almost the same spot that Darth Toxus was.
I can't tell if they are the same or not.
That would be very difficult to tell. You would need to be stronger in this power.
Fair enough then.
But they are in nearly the same place.
Okay.
Kane, Song snaps out of his vision. And Neris, you know immediately what has just happened. Song has tapped into the Force and used a Force power.
I would say that probably after using it twice in rapid succession like that, he would probably falter a bit before
Yeah, you'd
steadying
definitely be
himself.
lightheaded. You'd definitely be
Yeah.
a little lightheaded and need to sit.
Yeah. In fact, if Stompy's next to me, I would just sort of grab him by the shoulder to keep myself steady.
I help him up or keep him up.
I'm just gonna stand there shocked.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Mandalore-
It's
they're
impressive to
heading
you,
to-
Aneris, because
to-
sorry, I just need to get this out.
Nope. Yeah. Nope. Go ahead.
It's impressive to you, Aneris, because they seem to have willingly controlled and used their Force ability. Untrained. That's impressive. Like, it's not common. Indeed, your suspicion was correct. The Force has awakened in them for a purpose. You absolutely hit the nail on the head.
Mandalore Vizsla. The Sith are heading to Terrace now.
How much time do I have left before I have to go meet with the Republic people?
30 minutes. They're coming to you, so they're coming here.
Okay.
I'd get a warning to Raj.
That was what I was literally about to say. Raven's gonna pull out her holopad or whatever it's called and either call or shoot a message to Raj. I don't know how it works when he is presumably in transit.
Yeah. You're not able to get a message through to Rajka, who's currently at light speed. However, you are able to send one to Terrace itself and talk to his second in command and say, hey, they're coming. And
right.
he's going to nod and say, what are our orders?
Do what you can to protect Terrace. If you have to fall back, fall back. We need the ships more than we need Terrace.
Understood, ma'am. And he'll disconnect. And yeah, Terrace is going to start mobilizing for war. It's about 30 minutes later when two people arrive.
I also want to, right after that, mention
Sorry.
to Raven. Be thinking about where we're going as well if Terrace falls and they come here next.
I have ideas.
You're going to need them.
We're all here, right?
Yep.
Like, we're all
Yep, you're all there.
Is Meta here as well?
Is M3T4 with you?
Yeah, he'd be here in his new body.
Okay.
As M3T4 enters, he has a brand new body. It is, well, not brand new. It was scrapped. But he has a new form. But you all recognize it immediately. He's a medical droid. Statement. I feel like the belle of the ball.
You're looking Looking great, M3. I got a question for you.
Yes, Master.
Are you by chance able to? Do you have any access to the? You're able to know how many ships there were in the Sith fleet. Do you by chance have any access to coordinates or positions of any of those ships?
Scanning. Statement. I am sorry, Master. I do not have their current coordinates. However, I may have information that would be useful to you in battle.
All right.
The Sith ships use a hyperdrive capacitor from an ancient era. It takes them time to basically they have to take a lot of extra time to make the jump to light speed because the hyperdrive capacitors work very differently than they do now. They've been much improved over the years. To that end, it is possible to kite them somewhat. You can drop, shoot, jump to light speed, and go somewhere else. And if they give chase, they can be caught a little off guard. The problem with that is that you can only make so many jumps to light speed in a short amount of time without seriously damaging your engines. We actually saw that in episode 9, I think, of Star Wars, as garbage as it was. We saw that the ship starts falling apart when you make too many jumps to light speed too quickly.
Skipping thing or whatever?
The skipping that they call it, yes. These ships are particularly susceptible to skipping.
All right, Raven's gonna. I don't know if it even would have to be like a voice message. Just send that off to Terrace. Be like, we have a potential weakness you can play with.
In this case, Angel Lux, thank you so much for the raid, by the way. Welcome in, everybody. We're playing Star Wars. Dolvik, please give a shout out to Angel Lux. In this case, the value of that information isn't necessarily going to be in using skipping as a combat maneuver. It is more of a retreat. It is to say, if you are clever about it, you can get some shots off, maybe take a couple of their ships down, and then you can retreat without losing too many units. That's more the value of it right now.
Right, that's basically what Raven is sending along.
Perfect.
Of, like, if you can't hold Terrace, try to do this.
They're going to radio back asking where you want them to go.
I don't have a list of planets here, do I?
No, give me an idea of what you're hoping for, though. Are you looking for do you want them to come to Dantooine? Do you want them to go to the shipyards? Do you want them to go to some no-name place where you can use as a staging ground? What are you looking for?
Probably the staging ground, because I don't necessarily want to lead them directly to anything of strategic importance.
Right, in case they follow.
Shipyards.
Okay, great. I'm gonna say you're gonna tell them to. Oh, wouldn't this just be fitting? Yeah, you can think of a planet that exists in the Outer Rim that no one goes to because it sucks. And,
Korriban.
well, that definitely is a planet that sucks and no one goes to. But they definitely no. You tell them to go to Hoth.
Oh
Nice.
Lord!
Oh boy.
Oh,
Get your snow boots ready.
So yeah,
Codename Popsicle.
codename Popsicle. It is about 30 minutes later as two people arrive. One is Glora Jost. Not quite as you remember him from your meeting just 2 months ago. He looks like he has aged a decade in 2 months. He has watched too many people die. He has watched too many people suffer. And he is a man who had leadership thrust upon him that he was not ready for, but he has managed to keep at least a lot of people alive as best he could. Standing next to him is a Togruta woman in her early 60s. It is Jedi Grandmaster Keela Voss. She gives a large smile as she sees you, Anaris. Well, Anaris Eldon.
Grandmaster.
Hardly. There's little to be Grandmaster of anymore.
Song will take off his helmet as well, and reply to that when this war is over, you're still going to need Grandmasters to rebuild.
We will need a great many things to rebuild. I understand Operation Red Lightning was a success.
Jury's still out on that.
I don't think so. I stand by my decision, even given what it cost. The Jedi are all but extinct. I know of a couple who survived. There are still many unaccounted for, but there are very few of us left.
Well,
you
Daenerys
have-
has one you can add to your order.
I'm sorry? Daenerys?
Song. Care to explain?
Why don't you?
Your new Padawan.
Sifu?
I wasn't aware that she had made her decision yet.
She's made her decision.
Well, then, Grandmaster, I have a Padawan now, as it seems.
She raises her eyebrows in surprise, as you had never seemed interested in taking a Padawan in your younger years.
Well, he's middle-aged now, so.
Ah, of course. I forgot. I forgot. She nods.
Damn it.
Is that so?
Drastic times calls for drastic measures, and the opportunity presented itself.
Too true. Jedi Master Eldon.
I'm sorry.
Song nudges him. Come on, even I got goosebumps from that.
I wasn't aware that I had completed the trials.
Well, indeed, I was going to have your instructor give you your trials shortly.
Oh, well, okay.
Your instructor is
ruined
not
it.
with us. You know all that you need to do, and you have taken a Padawan, and if my senses have not left me, you have taken a number of Padawans here. He glances
Yeah,
at you, Raven.
Raven
I'm
looks a
still-
little bit offended at being called a Padawan.
Mm.
She's no Jedi.
All right, Ahsoka.
That
Yeah.
wasn't even intentional.
She nods knowingly. Well, have any of you been contacted by Grandmaster Vandar?
not
You're the
yet.
first we've heard from the Republic.
Yes, not much communication can get out. We believe he's still alive. Mainly because the Sith Empire put out a massive bounty on both mine and his heads.
How much?
She smiles at you. A lot. Well, it would seem we have a common enemy, if nothing else.
That it would.
How would you like to handle this? A truce? Peace treaty? An alliance?
Kane kind of gives an affirmative cough when she mentions that part.
Raven was already gonna go for the alliance.
Good call.
Good choice, Mandalore Padawan Vizsla.
Raven will glare him down for that.
Glora Joss takes a seat at the table, as does Keela Voss. Very well. We are open to an alliance. We don't have a lot of options. We have 2,000 ships, roughly. There are small resistance cells spread throughout the core and inner worlds. We're a rallying cry to be able to make it to the inner and core worlds. They may answer, but we can't guarantee it. What we have with us is what we know will answer. We have spent the last 2 months trying to buy you all as much time as possible. I hope it has not been poorly spent.
And doing everything we could with it.
We will need allies, and they are few. Have you reached out to the Hutt cartel?
recently got back the first list of demands from Suna?
Suna. Yep, you got it.
Suna.
Are they reasonable?
Still deciding.
Are they tolerable?
Raven looks like she really wants to say no, but knows that that's personal history talking.
Hmm.
They could be.
Understood. The Hutts are ruthless. They always have been. That said, they find themselves in a strategic advantage. Katra Visla was openly, or sorry, she doesn't know that. Mandalore Somnus was openly hostile towards them. They are not known to forgive easy, but they are still willing to work with us. At least the Cath Hounds are. That's interesting. What about the Ruby Eclipse? I understand you had contact with Isle of the Hutt.
I think I can call in a favor.
That would be excellent. That would just leave then Gerada the Hutt and the name of the group that I remember very well.
A weird name for a gang.
Yeah, it is a weird name for a gang. Oh boy, what do I call them?
You sent it to me earlier.
I think I did. They're the ones that suck. In that they're the ones that do slavery.
Is it the Blood Pack?
The Hutt Cartel, the Crimson Dawn. The only one I actually took from Star Wars lore, and that's the one I forgot. Awesome.
Because you didn't make it up, so you didn't remember it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, the Crimson Dawn, ruthless, dangerous people.
And
But
that's the
forward-
one on Nalhutta.
They're on
Forward
Nalhutta, yeah.
shock troops, then.
I'm sure that's not how they will see it, but yes, you have the right idea. Desperate times, after all. Anaris, we sit in the Temple of the Jedi Rangers. Have you been able to contact them?
I have not.
Not surprising. Very few. Outside of the council, that none of them actually remain here, save for the ones that are being trained. Not surprising, after 10 years they would be gone. We will need to try to reach out to as many as possible. They may join our side. While the Jedi and the Jedi don't often see eye to eye on things, we both agree on one thing. Sith must be stopped.
Sith bad.
Sith bad, she agrees. Well, very well then. Song, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Would you reach out to Isla of the Hutt and see if she would be amenable to a alliance?
Yes, I will.
And Mandalore Visla, presuming we win, I understand is a very large presumption, especially given what I've seen of the future. What next?
Don crosses his arms. Yes, Mandalore Vizsla. What's the future hold for
Since
the
time-
Mandalorians?
Since time before our records, our people have warred. What comes of it after this?
No interest in ruling the entire galaxy, if that's what you're asking.
That is good to know. But it is not what I'm asking. You are the leader of your people now. To what would you have them strive towards?
I would see my people be protectors rather than conquerors. Although that may be more than a small bit of work to get them to cooperate.
Do you know what the Jedi were referred to as? Protectors
Gonna
of the
Blankly stare.
protectors of the Republic. It is not an easy role to fill, and less easy when you're in charge. Think carefully on what the future of the Mandalorians is. I, for one, would propose, when this is over, a new form of a republic that we're all a part of.
I'll
Is,
consider
is Katra in the room?
Katra is in the room. Yes, she is.
Can I gauge her reaction to this?
You can. Katra. Sorry, I got to get myself into her mindset to think of how she's going to handle that. She is silently nodding, as if she agrees. 'Cause after
Right.
all, it was not ultimately that they were joining the Republic that caused her to do what she did.
Okay.
She looks at you. There will be a lot of details that will need to be figured out, but none of them mean anything if we don't win. I think our first order of business then should be figuring out how we're going to do that. I will be in touch with you. Glora will be my main point of contact. I will leave him here. Glora Joss is like, ugh, oh boy. All right. I'll hang out with the Mandalorians. Why not? But
it goes so well.
yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fine. He nods, and I am sorry about your mother. I had the pleasure of meeting her once. She was different. I liked her.
She passed how she always wished to, in battle.
Indeed. For my part, I will continue to lead the vanguard of the Republic as best I can. I will, when I have thoughts about what we might do, what we might benefit from, I will send them your way. There is one, if you haven't considered it. I know you're already talking to the Hutts. Felucia. It is the largest source of Bacta in the galaxy, and one that the Republic has been without for 10 years now.
If we can secure that, Isla the Hutt is in our pocket.
So-
She's going to ask for a heavy toll.
I have
So,
no
Meta,
doubt.
I thought the Mandalorians had already conquered that.
M3T4 looks at you. That is correct. The Mandalorians conquered Felucia about 9. Sorry, you said. Oh, you're talking about. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it's his name now. So.
Yep, I didn't even think about that.
That is correct. The Mandalorians conquered Felucia 9 years ago. However, since then, Bacta facilities have gone offline within the last month.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Sorry, I said within the last month. Within the last year, he means to say.
Okay.
Something has gone wrong on Felucia.
Well,
Okay.
whatever it takes to get them back up, if we complete the promise that I made to Isla, I guarantee you she will get them in working order. At least for the duration of this war. We won't have to worry about that. Afterwards would be another
Indeed,
question.
leaving Isla the Hutt in charge of the galaxy's supply of Bacta would be.
Questionable.
If I make it, I will personally dedicate myself to ridding us of her at that point. But for the cause of the war, it might actually benefit us.
Very well then. I will entrust the matter of Felucia to you then. As it is, I am going to make for Dak and oversee the repairs on the ships and try and have this fleet back to working order. She stands and nods her head. And I do feel I was right about you all. You were exactly what we hoped you would be. And she leaves. You all are now going to go. Well, ultimately, you all now have a decision to make. Raven, you have been given a number of things to deal with. You have to convince Jirana the Hutt to join you. This can be done on Nalhutta. You also have to convince Suna the Hutt to join you. That will take you to Tatooine. You have to fix the issues on Felucia, which will, shockingly, take you to Felucia. I will allow you all to talk it over and discuss and decide which you want to do first. And that is where we'll pick up next week's session when you go there.
You want to do it on stream or over the week?
No, you can decide it right now where you want to go.
All right.
Because I'm going to take the week to write it.
Yeah, so Felucia gets us back to in production. Does that mean that we will have access to more healing stuff?
You will be able to purchase stim packs after Felucia.
All right. And the Crimson Dawn, I assume, will give us more firepower.
It will increase your army, yes.
And what was
Suna
the third one?
Suna was 1,500 ships.
Suna is also 1,500 ships. He is another
So
army.
Suna and Crimson Dawn are both
Army.
make the army better.
Yep. Mr.
Okay.
Blinks asking, are they all Jedis or are they just mercs? Two of them are, well, one of them is a Jedi. One of them was a Jedi trainee who kind of left. And the other three have all become Force sensitive at the end of the last episode. They all a major event happened where the Jedi were nearly driven extinct, and they were all awakened in the Force. They are not yet
They're an
Jedi.
endangered species now, basically.
Yeah, there are 6 of them left, roughly.
I say we go after the Bacta.
I agree. We can use that as a
That's what
bargaining
I was
chip
thinking.
for attempting to get the other cartels with us afterwards.
I
Uh,
can
okay.
send someone to Nalhutta.
Katra looks, I would go.
I second that.
She looks to you, Raven.
This is the first time, Raven, in 2 months that Song has acknowledged Katra outside of calling her luggage that one time.
Ouch.
Kind of impression.
She looks at you, though, Raven, and nods. If you would empower me to speak on your behalf, I will go and broker an audience with Jirana the Hutt.
Raven will nod. My reasons for not wanting to send you were stupid anyways.
She gives you a knowing look and nods. I can take care of myself. But she nods. Very well then. I will requisition a ship and I will leave in the morning. And with that,
Come
she will
back
leave.
safe.
With that, she will leave the room. She grins as you say that though, and says, "You know I will."
Yeah.
To be clear, you don't know that she will. Jirana the Hutt's very dangerous. Sorry,
I might know she's coming.
We're gonna end this session with Song. You have been asked to bargain with Isla the Hutt.
I would like to speak with Raven before I go to bargain with Isla.
Very well.
After everyone else has left.
Very well.
Mandalore, just like you to be aware, I've gotten more information about the Lady in Waiting. My wife is aboard that ship.
I feel like I'm not going to like this information.
I mean, that right there is already enough not to like. The Lady in Waiting is also Darth Toxis's ship and is the flagship of the Sith fleet.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
When I get the chance, I'm boarding that ship.
Gonna kind of gesture around. I think you mean we're boarding that ship.
Damn.
Last time it was, if it doesn't sacrifice the war. Song will walk away.
Comment was supposed to be a read between the lines song.
Yeah, Song
All right,
can't
so-
read.
He can sing though. Nobody knows that.
What are these words?
All right,
Mark
so
is on
yeah,
the
we go
page.
get contact with Isla the Hutt.
She takes your call.
Wearing
got-
my Mando armor during this.
You got to know, Isle of the Hut doesn't take everyone's call, but she does take your
Where?
call. She looks at you. Actually, no, she speaks to you audio only because
Can't smell her, so I just see the
Yeah.
big fat worm, wouldn't I?
she's not a big fat worm. She looks like
What?
a Zeltran woman.
Yeah, that's because she's using pheromones.
Yes. Yes, she was able to marry a Hutt because she was able to look beautiful to a Hutt, which is very confusing because Hutts bud. They don't actually they reproduce
Wait, so
asexually.
is Isla the Hutt isn't an actual?
Nope, she's a Zeltran
Hutt.
woman.
Oh, see, I thought that Isla used a Zeltran woman to make people see her as beautiful.
That's
Nope.
what I thought too.
Nope, she is an
Gotcha.
actual Zeltran woman who married a Hutt and then killed him.
And got all his money.
She's quite ruthless
Fair enough.
and very
Alright.
pretty.
Mm.
You know,
Isla,
Kane, or as I understand it is now, Song.
the Black Draknar is reborn.
Indeed.
A lot has changed since last we spoke. Some deals will need to be amended.
I am still waiting on you to pay off your deals from before.
But I gave you some information last time we spoke,
You did.
which I'm sure you will put to good use. So with that, I'm going to suggest a new terms of our agreement, a new arrangement.
I see.
The war effort needs Fallujah,
Indeed.
which you also need.
Yes.
So what can you give us to help us take it? And when it's taken, you will give free rein to get it operating, running smoothly. And for the course of the war with the Sith, you will do everything that you can to make sure that this rebellion has what it needs.
So that I understand, you are requesting from me my entire fleet, 2,000 ships strong. You are requesting from me my not inconsiderable resources in restoring the Bacta facility on Felucia, and that I will then provide Bacta to your cause. And I get what precisely?
You get Fallujah. When this war is over, it's yours, as you wanted. And as an added bonus, when the Sith fleet decides to jump to Terrace, you'll get advance notice.
The long pause as she seems to consider your words. Fallujah is declared sovereign space under the rule of Isla the Hutt when this is over.
Deal.
Very well then. When you have secured the facility on Fallujah, I will send all that is needed to get it up and running again.
You might also want to send your fleet to Dantooine. The Sith are coming. I end the comms.
Very well done, Kane. I thought I was going to have to bargain to get Fallujah. Very well.
I don't plan on Isla being around very long.
Wow. She's done nothing but help you people.
Yep. I messaged to Raven. We have Isla's fleet.
Literally done nothing but help you people. Just the nicest.
Yeah, but
Hutt
how
in the
long does that
galaxy.
last?
Very well then.
Alright,
that
if
is
she's lucky, I'll kill the other Hutts first, okay?
wow. That is where we will end tonight's session. Next time, as I have pointed out, you have 3 major goals. To secure the help of the Crimson Dawn from Drana the Hutt, secure the help of the Cathhounds from Suna the Hutt, and to get Felucia back under control from God knows what. So that is where next time we will be picking up with Felucia.
I hope
while
it's Ewoks.
oh God, you know what? It wasn't going to be Ewoks, but I'm going to tell you right now. I don't know
almost
how.
said People the Hut for some reason, but sorry.
I don't know how they got
It's
here from
Ewoks.
Endor, but like it's definitely Ewoks.
Yeah.
So when you while you're doing that, Katra will be journeying to Nalhutta, try to broker an audience with Jirana the Hutt. So hopefully you will have at least a way to speak with Jirana the Hutt, if not understanding his terms by the time you finish up with Felucia. Or he'll send you her head. We'll see.
Would it be a dick move to call him ahead of time and warn him that an assassination attempt is coming?
I believe it would be considered treason. Well, no,
No,
it
no,
wouldn't.
no,
She's
no,
not a
I-
Mandalorian.
Would it be a dick move?
Yes, it would be an immensely dick move.
Okay.
Also, he's been reinstated. It can be treason.
It can, except what he did was an action against a non-Mandalorian, so actually it can't be. You could consider it a crime punishable by death, but it's not treason.
I mean, difference at that point.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, everyone, you are going to do your first morality rolls, and I'm going to tell you what your conflict score is. You'll notice I have not been assigning them as we go. I've just been making mental notes so I can tell you at the end. Raven,
Mine is 48.
I need you to make your first morality roll. You across the game took 3 conflict, so you may roll a d10 and subtract 3.
Is that in addition to the stuff I had from downtime, or is that the stuff I had from downtime?
No, that is in addition to the 3 you got during downtime.
Did
So you're
I
going to be rolling
do?
against a 6.
7?
You can increase your morality by 1. Galvin, did I assign you a morality score? I believe I did, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you now, especially now because you're going to be able to access a Jedi tree when we're done, it is relevant to you. You, I don't think, had to compromise your morality particularly in this session. I would say,
Oh, I know what I did.
I would say I might assign you 2 conflict for your downtime with your struggles with M3T4. But yeah, it's going to be 2. So go ahead and roll a d10 and subtract 2.
Let's see. 8, so 6.
All right, you may increase your morality by 6. Anaris, 0 conflict for you. I've got nothing for you.
Woo!
You
I'm currently at 60.
great. If you roll a 10, you're only one away from becoming light side attuned.
Okay, let's see what we got here. 2.
You may increase your morality by 2.
Oof.
Song,
I'm almost there.
you're going to take 5 conflict for that session. You may roll a d10.
5 total?
5 total.
Okay.
That's including your
What was
2.
my... Yeah, what's my other conflict from?
You took 2 from doing taking the dark side power to do that.
Yep.
I also assigned you a total of 3 for promising Isla something that you plan to murder her for later.
All right, yeah, that's fair.
Yes, it is.
3,
Fair.
4. Was that to deal with the Hutts?
That is a 10.
You may increase your morality by 5. And Stumpaka, you did very well this session. Yeah, 0 morality, 0 conflict. You may roll a d10.
2.
You may increase your morality by 2.
Aw.
War Caesars got screwed.
Everyone's
Right.
morality went up this session. I mean, to be fair, for those of you who are not actually like Jedi trained, like you do get graded a little less harshly on conflict and morality because it is against your personal codes a lot of the time. So, yeah. How much conflict would require a decrease in morality? So if you basically take your conflict and you subtract it whenever you roll. So if you have 5 conflict and you roll a 1, your morality goes down by 4. They all increase because they all rolled numbers higher than their conflict.
And morality only matters if you're above 70 or below 35, right?
Yeah, mechanically speaking, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you start getting down to like 38 in that area, I'm going to start talking about how you're starting to show Sith influence. Like, you're starting to see the orange eyes pop up and stuff like that. Like, you're going down a dark path. Be careful. But,
I'm really sad that Darth Toxus couldn't sense me.
Like, you're looking kind of veiny there.
yeah, you, Darth Toxus did not sense you in that moment. Darth Toxus seemed very distracted by something in that moment. But don't worry, you're all going to get to meet Darth Toxus.
Yay!
Everyone may take 25 experience points.
Woo.
You sure it's not 30?
I am certain it is not 30. You're going to hear 25 an awful lot this episode.
How many credits?
Yeah, how many credits? Oh my gosh. I'm going to say you may each take 1,000 credits.
Ooh.
Money.
I mean, I'm assuming 2 months pay, so yeah, you did pretty good. 1,000 credits.
Like 3,000. I haven't bought anything.
Look in the book because you can buy stuff. Just let me know what it is first because I might tell you can't find it. But and Kane, I am sorry you did not get the other item that you wanted this session, but it's coming.
Okay.
You did get a sweet disruptor pistol.
Would I be able to talk to Raven about getting those upgrades for Ozzy? Given all she does
Sure.
for...
Sure.
Cool.
If you would like, you want to do so now?
Well, I'm not going to get... I don't think she needs the actual, like, combat enhanced ones that increase her stats.
Yeah. You
Just... Repla limbs, I think, is what they were, and it's basically it's just like having your old limbs back.
Yeah,
so.
they're metallic endoskeletons that are covered in synth skin that is then shaped to look like whatever your original flesh was.
Yeah.
They with the massive no, that's fine. Actually, synth skin is fine to find right now. So yeah. You could talk to Raven if you want about getting.
I don't think that
some
requires
limbs.
an RP scene unless she's
Sure.
going to say no.
Raven, are you planning on denying Ozzy Visla her limbs back?
Why would I?
I don't know.
Just say yes.
If Katra gets her head cut off because of Kane, are you going to do that?
She doesn't know.
Fair enough. All right.
Africa cut off because of Kane. I'm going after Kane, not Ozzy.
Fair point. That's very reasonable of you. Not a very good Mandalorian. Anyway, I do hope you all enjoyed. Oh, sure. What's up, Galvin?
I didn't say I was going to stop at Kane.
So you said that there was like an extra ability of M3 to be able to like salvage a stim pack once per session. Is that separate from the other ability on here where it has... Wait, where did the page go? Where it has the built-in diagnostic and surgical tools. Is that like a separate thing?
Yeah. So the diagnostic and surgical tools are going to help you to let me grab it. The diagnostic and surgical tools are to help your medicine checks. This is going to help you or let you take a stim pack every day or every session. Built-in diagnostic and surgical tools count as med packs as well as stim pack that can be used once per session. Sick. Oh, no, that's really good. No, it's got one built in, and it's also going to salvage you one. That's really nice.
Yeah, because that's what I was... Because I was like, this kind of sounds like what you were talking about, but I wasn't sure if it was like the same thing or if it was a different thing.
I'm going to let you know, too, your Phase 4 and Phase 5 droid that you're going to get, the improvements... The stat blocks I'm going to send you for them are not droids, they're people, because that's the best droid that there is, but I need you to have better ones, obviously, for Phase 4 and Phase 5. So they're people, just use their stat blocks and pretend they're a droid.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you know, the final form is a really fucking good healer.
And can I salvage stim pack for the session?
You may salvage a stim pack from the session. Take it.
Okay.
Somewhere... song, you just hear Ellie go, "Nah."
Yeah.
Does she lose another pound?
Does. Down to 17 pounds. All right. Kane, increase
What
your
now?
obligation by 5.
The family obligation
Yes, your betrayal and family obligation. Yeah.
or betrayal? Sorry.
Yeah, you can increase that by 5 as you start closing in on
Wait, increase it or decrease it by 5?
increase it by 5.
Okay.
As you start to close in on what is happening here, it weighs on your mind more frequently. Raven, increase your obligation to Isle of the Hut by 5.
Nice.
You may also increase your duty by 5
Duty.
every fucking time. 100% of times. All right, and someone else has a score of that I'm supposed to be thinking about, don't they? Someone else have an obligation?
I do.
You do? What's your obligation?
Obsession.
Session. No, that doesn't make any sense to increase that. All right,
No.
we're good.
Really.
No, I actually think that over the 2 months, the fact that you realize, like, yeah, what happened was my fault because I didn't do my due diligence. That's character growth right there.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. I think that's where we're going to wrap for tonight. I want to say thank you to everyone who participated tonight. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to everyone in the audience who came along to watch. When we pick up next time, we will be heading to Fallujah to deal with that. And guess what, everyone? We're going to get more Force visions.
Yay!
I know we're all very excited because while Korriban is a vergence in the dark side of the Force, Fallujah is a vergence in the light side of the Force.
Ew.
So that means we're gonna get nice visions.
You're gonna get light side visions. Yes, you're going to get some more visions next time. So I hope you all look forward to those and who all you're going to get to speak to. I will also say we are going to have some major reveals next session. I mentioned when I wrote this campaign that there were 3 major things that I knew from the moment I wrote this campaign were going to happen. One was that Isle of the Hut was actually going to be a Zeltran woman. So you've already found that one out. You're going to find the second of them next session.
Do I get to shoot somebody?
You'll probably get to shoot something.
I want to shoot a person.
All right, go ahead and take 2 conflict.